Welcome back, everybody, to the Icebreaker Cup Junior Rotax B final. We are ready for it then. This is the last chance for drivers to race through to the A final later on today. And off we go then. Good start for Josh Cormack there. As all one spinner off towards, in fact, a few spinners off into the Bruno Ferrari S's. We'll be joined on circuit in a short while. This is another 8-minute race here. Looks like Lorenzo Villau may have come to the front of the order here for Strawberry Racing, as there's more drama coming off of the bridge. Towards hairpin number 2 then. Oh, now have we gone full course yellow? Yes, we've gone for a slow procedure then. Now, what has happened here? Slippery surface flags coming out as well. Quite a few drivers have not come through the first sector there. Oh, well, there's a driver we would have expected to going high up the order there for Sam Pollitt Racing, the 225 of Jensen Walker. Also out with Jensen, Oliver Peters, Teddy Cooper, Isaac Jameson. Some of these drivers are now getting going again. Tobias Johns, Ethan Guest, I think, is out of this one, and Molly Mizzen. So those drivers who have all at least been very delayed through the first sector, and will not be going through to the A final, to say the least. So everybody else forming up now to keep what heat they can in their tyres. As a reminder, from the intermediate classification, so Jacob Aston was your pole sitter, and he was 33rd in the intermediate classification. So only a few spots available to join the top 32 to get into the main final. At the moment, Lorenzo Villau, Jacob Aston, Jacob Underhill, they're all looking pretty good right now. And we're going to go back to green on this one then. So effectively a 5-minute 35-second heat, as that's a big attack from Jacob Aston in the early stages. Nothing that Villau could do there but get out onto the damp stuff. Now that may be a bit of experience of racing in the UK versus not having experience in the UK. That was a great move by Jacob Aston, and I think he timed that to perfection. He didn't cross the timing line. It was 0.02 of a second between Aston and Villau going over the line there. Jacob Underhill was also sharp to follow that one up into second place. Oliver Fabricius as well has gained up to P3. Naturally, the field is going to thin out a bit here. I don't think everybody's going to quite get to the end of this race, as there's another change. So where's Aston gone? Aston slipped the third. Fabricius has come through to take the lead of this race. Underhill has held second in all of this. There's Matthew So in the blue suit with the red details, 5th place at the moment. Who else has gained in the early stages? JJ Plowman's got a chance here. JJ Plowman up 7 places for ST Racing, up to P9. Finley Cass up 12 as well, up to 19th. Aston Brown is giving it a go into the top 15 now, as your biggest mover in the race so far, up 18. There's Matthew So down the inside on the 122 of Adam Turchek. So Turchek down to 5th place now. Welcome to Morgan Hill, who's joined the Slipstream Pass community. But Fabricius leading this race. Underhill P2, Aston P3. Back down the inside of Matthew So goes Adam Turchek. That's a good response, getting back into the rhythm of things. And there's Josh Cormack. Now, Josh Cormack should still be a pretty quick driver in this race. Very strong performances and achievements through his days in other categories, in the inter categories. Has switched, of course, into the Rotax categories. Had problems earlier on in the weekend in time qualifying, but this is the last chance for Josh Cormack to race through. He's still got to gain quite a few positions in this one. Matthew So back down the inside. That's with Miles Cleworth. Miles Cleworth in the number 17 gets out wide. Nearly ran into a spot of bother on the approach to hairpin number 2 there. 2-1-1 in the middle of your shot. That is JJ Plowman. That's the driver we noted earlier that you need to keep an eye on. JJ Plowman has already gained 7 places, possibly more now in this race. Could be a threat for those looking to move through later on in this one. Still not a lot of time to go though. 2.5 minutes remaining in this race. Oliver Fabricius looking pretty good here. Breaking away from 2 Jacobs behind. Jacob Underhill still there in second ahead of Jacob Aston. Aston Brown, fastest lap of the race. Unfortunately, at the moment, Aston stuck down in 12th place. Has gained 20 places in this one, so whatever's happened there on the 257, the setup is right at the moment for that machine. Charlie Condy has just broken into the top 10 as well. Matthew So starting to fade a bit here. It's going backwards in the middle of this pack. The Sodi Vitesse driver there, Charlie Condy, had some unfortunate moments in the first heat, I want to remember. There's 17 of Miles Cleworth on your screen. End of laps at number 6 then. Fabricius still leading this one. Underhill second. They would go through at the moment into the A final. Jacob Aston at the moment on the bubble, running round in 3rd place. Just to note as well, Lorenzo Villau starting to come back through the field, but I think he just got caught out on that run into turn number 1 off the restart. Didn't expect to see someone flying down the inside. Oh, you can still see the grip levels not great down into hairpin 2. The drivers are going to be tempted now to start using all of the track and a little bit more. Trouble is, a lot of places, those white painted lines are still going to be pretty slippery. A circuit that's been around for about 30 years now. It's got that mix of being a modern circuit, but still with a lot of the runoff areas not being tarmac runoff. It's still a circuit that can bite the unwary driver when they place a wheel in the wrong position out there. Great drive this though from Oliver Fabricius. Comfortable at the moment, 1.3 clear of Jacob Underhill. Jack Beasley's just improved by position. Number 27 past the 17. 6th place now for Jack Beasley. Now once again it's that squabble 7th, 8th and 9th. JJ Plowman's progress has kind of been arrested here. It's not continued into the second half of this race. I think these drivers know now that they're racing for a bit of pride as time expires. Good move there from Plowman. Takes 8th away from Miles Cleworth. So final lap board out then. Oliver Fabricius and Jacob Underhill looking pretty good at the moment. 1 and 2 at the front of the field. The good thing for Underhill as well is that a lead of just over a second has emerged to Jacob Aston. In fact, Jacob Aston's going to be dealing with Alan Turchek and Josh Cormack. Turchek may already be through here by the looks of that previous shot. Yes, it's got 3rd place by the time they get down towards hairpin number 1. So top 2 are going to be gone. Top 2 are going to be marching to the next stage. Josh Cormack's going to be frustrated here. Don't think he would have been expecting to be in this position at the start of the day. But time and corners are running out here. Good turning again from Fabricius there. MLC Motorsport, another good result for them around this circuit. We've got quite a few of those in 2025. Oliver Fabricius then wins the B final in Junior Rotax. A very professional drive, likewise for Jacob Underhill. Over the line for Jactex Racing, and they will be happy with those performances. Adam Turchek holds 3rd. Josh Cormack 4th, Jacob Aston 5th, and rarest Cosmin Pascu completes the top 6. JJ Plowman, a great first half of the race. Great pace as well, just needed it to be a little bit of a longer race, a bit more pace to break up beyond 7th place, but 9 spots gained nonetheless. Jack Beasley 8th, Miles Cleworth 9th, Aston Brown is your biggest mover in that B final, up 22 positions and into the top 10. Charlie Condi, Matthew So, Lorenzo Grau and James Fabricius all in the top 15, completed by Jamie Richards. Good drives from James Fabricius there, up 15. Jamie Richards up 10. Hakeem Bart, Peter Lee, Arthur Miller and Stanley Stafford all in the top 20, completed by Elliot Smith, Finley Cass, Harvey Sargson, Kian Hundle and Ralph Ricaitis all finished that race in the top 24. Retirements, all of them pretty early on for the rest of the drivers, which we'll just note through there were Oliver Peters, Harry Harvey, Teddy Cooper, Isaac James, Tobias Johns, Jensen Walker, Ethan Guest, Molly Mizzen and Benjamin Jones. So we're not quite done for Junior Rotax. Their A final will be the penultimate race of the day at 3:55. Well, we're not quite done with the B finals in total as well. We've still got our Senior Rotax B final. That'll be up next. So a little bit of a pause here at the circuit just whilst those carts from under the bridge are recovered back to the paddock. A little bit of drama there at the start of the B final for Junior Rotax. Keep your comments coming in for those of you watching our finals live here today. And if you're watching them on Cash Up, comment in as well. How much have you enjoyed Icebreaker Cup 2026 from TVKC? Really looking forward on the SlipStream platform to bringing more action than ever before from PF International to you and supporting the club level of karting. A number of D drivers we do see on the national stage in other series on broadcasts powered by Alpha Live, but for a lot of them they don't race on the national scene, so they get the chance to be on one of these live broadcasts with the commentary, with all the loveliness, all the graphics and all of that business. Right, let's talk B final for Senior Rotax. So less drivers in this one, so in theory it won't be as fraught as the start of the Junior Rotax one, but still a limited number of spots to get through into the big race later on today. I do believe we can take you through the grid for this one. Remember, the top 32 in the intermediate classification, they're already in. They're done in terms of qualifying. We will see them in the main final later on today. Here are the drivers competing for the last few spots to get onto the grid for later on this afternoon. Zach Leckie has pole position. Jack West is in this B final. Now, if you weren't with us for the second round of heats, the last round of heats, Jack missed the gate. It was right at that point where it was, do you put on wets, do you put on slicks? It can happen, and it did happen to Jack West. On paper, Jack West should be a heavy favourite for this race. Bailey Waters and Ben Ballou on row 2. Ben's in this race because his rear left wheel decided not to be attached to a cart anymore. So if they've got it all packed together, that should be a pretty useful package to potentially go through from this race. Ludwig Beresford and Jacob Lee, they're on row 3. Oliver Smith and Connor Tubby will go from row number 4 in this B final. Next up, completing the top 10, it'll be Sam Kelbrick and Zizi Lim. They're on row 5. Row 6, Declan Luff and Priyam Lalang. Row 7, Ruben Mawalok, another driver who's coming through from the Iran Drive ranks. is alongside Oscar Chevrit in the number 96. Charlie Domonkos goes from row 8. He's joined by Dan Renton. Zach Kane and Willow McIver go from row 9. Ilyas Fakir and Jake Fisher will not take part in this race. Neither of them are showing as on track at the moment. So we have 17. It's Oliver Smith is also not out there on circuit. The formation laps underway then for this B final. Full 1.382 kilometre layouts here at PF being used. The tricky bit for Jack West, though, is he's not going to have the best option of how he gets down towards turn number 1. This could be one of those races where you've got respectively to the other drivers, a faster, more experienced driver in this group. Taking your time is going to be important here, unless you can get an absolute barnstormer of a race start. Let's see what's going to happen then across the next 8 minutes plus 1 lap. Into turn number 1 we go, much calmer than we saw with the juniors. Round onto the bowl we go then. And who is going to emerge from the bridge with the race lead? It looks like it could well be. It's the Ultimate R machine coming through to the front of the order. Could that? Surely through hairpin number 1. Decent track conditions for this time of year now. No, indeed. Of course, it's Jack West, of course, in the Ultimate R now. Another driver who's changed teams for the start of the season. So Jack West arguably has done the hard bit already. He's got the race lead. He's got track position. He'll look to extend this lead now and have a bit of a cruise to the end of this B final. It's been joined by Ben Ballou. So it is the two drivers that showed pace earlier on in the day, have both had wheel-related misfortunes, shall we say. Jack West not having the wheels and the tyres on in time to get through the gate for a tricky call on tyres. Ben Ballou because one fell off on the rear left corner. But all bolted together, all looking pretty good right now. This is going to be a tall order for the likes of Bailey Waters, Zach Leckie and Connor Tubby. Catch these two. Good start for Oscar Chevrit for the Kato Motorsport team. KMZ, KMS rather. Up 6 places into the top 8. Ruben Mamalok as well, up 4 places, running as a privateer. Ruben, I want to say, some very good driving in arrive and drive in slippery conditions. I want to say Ruben had a dramatic drive through the field in a B final at Wilton Mill a couple of years ago. He likes it when there's a little bit of greasy set of conditions for drivers out there. 2:10 here at the circuit. Now, rain was originally due at 3 o'clock, and then that got moved back to 5 o'clock. Hopefully that's still the case. But weather can be unpredictable here at PF, so we'll keep our eyes on the clouds from time to time to see if anything inclement is coming in. Solid drives though from Jack West and Ben Ballou right now. They know they don't need to push. They've got a good gap to the rest of the field behind. Changes to note in the second half of the field. Charlie Domonkos up 3 places to P12. And Zach Kane as well. That's good to see for Zach. Zach had a really tough time during the heats. He's now running in fact, he's had even more positions gained. He's up to 11th place now in the 333. Oscar Chevrit continuing to impress. Now up to 6th place. Has just taken that position away from Ludwig Beresford. Again, 6.4 seconds the gap up to the leaders. I just don't think there's going to be enough time and pace delta for Oscar to get all the way back up into the top two. Leaders at the moment running around in 1 minute 0.3 second lap times. Almost metronomic at the moment, these two. Over the line to complete another lap. And Baloo dips below the 60-second barrier. Now, I think that's the first time we've seen that in race conditions here today. So again, the track continuing to dry up. Still a margin off what we'd call lap record pace, but that's to be expected at this time of year. If you do want to get involved for future rounds, of course, plenty of special events and club championship action coming up here at Trent Valley Kart Club. Just head across to the website, tvkc.co.uk. All the details can be found on there. But a much calmer affair, this B final for senior rotax. Ben Baloo continuing to put in those slightly faster laps than Jack West, but we're talking hundredths of a second. The more important bit is that, big send in there. Was that the KMS machine of Cherovich going in for a move? I think it might have been on Zach Leckie. These two doing the business right now. 3 seconds clear now of Bailey Waters. Zach Kane has made a move up to 10th place ahead of Declan Love. And here is your fight for third place. In fact, no, it was Connor Tubby getting past Bailey Waters with that move earlier on. Apologies, I confused my red, white and blue colours of Coles Racing with KMS there. Either way, good work from Connor Tubby. Again, you never know when you're in one of these positions. You could get a bit of a reprieve if something happens for the two ahead. Trouble is right now, 59.2 for West, 59.39 for Blue, 60.18 for Tubby. Now, yes, there was a bit of overtaking going on that lap, which always inherently drops the pace over that single lap. But at the moment, it's still very much advantage West and Blue. Rest of the field down the order. Good scrap going on for 8th place between Ludwig Beresford, the number 92, and the 95 of Jacob Lee. These B finals offer a good opportunity to have a look at some drivers that we haven't been able to talk about during the heat. There's Zach Kane continuing. In fact, I think Zach Kane's going to join that duo as well. Zach Kane now up 7 places in this race. Keep an eye out for the 333 on your screens. That trio just about to come under and through the bridge now. Prem Lalang has also improved. Sam Kelbrick has dropped a position. That's a change for 13th place. Here are your leaders once again. 2 laps of this one to go. Been a bit of a quieter B final here in Senior Rotax. Professional job by both West and Baloo. Knew they had the pace relative to the other competitors in this one, based on what we've seen through practice, through time qualifying, and particularly the first round of heats. Both of them, the second round of heats, didn't go all their way. That's why they're in this B final. A quick check over the shoulder there from Jack West. Knows that he just needs to pilot this kart round one more safe lap, and he should have this race won. 59.08, new fastest lap of the race last time around. Connor Tubby still pushing on though, and with good reason, because again, you never know with the nature of modern karting. All it takes is for one of these two to have one of those frustrating front bearing penalties for them. I don't think we have either of them, of course. They've looked clean all the way through this race, but you never know keeping yourself within that 5-second range can be very useful when you're needing a bit of a reprieve like this. But I don't think that's going to happen today. Jack West is going to win this B final. He's going to return back to where he really should be in that A final. The problems earlier on outside the gate, all in history now. Jack West is through to the A final. Ben Ballou following in as well. Connor Tubby third. Bailey Waters fifth. Good drive from Mamalok fifth in the end, and will have a share of the honour of being the biggest mover in that race with the driver. He's just overtaken Oscar Kervich in sixth. Zach Lecky seventh. Ludwig Beresford eighth. Zach Kane up 8 spots as well, takes P9. Declan Love completes the top 10 for Jack Tex Racing ahead of Jacob Lee. Charlie De Moncos, Sam Kelbrick, Priam Lalang, Zizzy Lim completing the top 15. Dan Renton finishes the day 16th in the B final ahead of Willow McIver. Elias Mufakir will be the last driver over the line in 18th spot. And Oliver Smith and Jake Fisher did not take the start of that B final. Well, we're a couple of hours away, just less than that, from the Senior Rotax A final. That'll be at 4:15. But now we do move into our main finals. We kick off this next part of the day with Minimax. Time for our first Icebreaker Cup final of 2026, and we kick off with one of the classes that really delivered every time they were out on circuit in 2025. It is, of course, Minimax 950, the interclass for the Rotax ladder, and we've got, I do believe, a full complement of drivers set to go in this one. Let's take you through the order of 35 for this 10-minute plus 1 lap final. Otis Cleary has pole position, perfect through the heats. Austin Oman alongside on the front row. Logan Roll from Benedictas Masiokas go from row 2. It's then Maria Roberto and Jensen Sale on row 3. Oscar Kenny will start on the 4th row of the grid. It's joined by Evan Meller. Lewis Herbertson and Jackson Hilton complete the top 10. It's then Ted Hayward and Dimi Uzanov going from row number 6. Luke Millward, the winner, the Micromax British champion a couple of years ago, starts on row 7 alongside Noah Wicklow. Dexter Petty and Riley Blakemore, last year's Honda Cadet British champion, starts on row 8. Teddy Murphy and Adam Bartz go from row number 9. The rest of the order looks like this. Chloe McGill, Ivan Janiscevic, Freddie Blackshaw, Ethan Mancy, Eddie Duncan, Finley Beals take us down to 24th place. And the lower third of the grid for this final. Lewis Ricoldi, P25. Hugo McCluskey alongside on row 13. Theo Fraha and James Devereaux will be on row 14. William Moore and Joshua Cook on row 15. Bit of a strange place for Joshua Cook to be there for KR Sports. Jensen Skeffington, Jack Hill, all novices on row number 16. It's Thomas Laidler and Finley Fawkes on row 17. Hugo Thorpe will not start this race. No, we're on number 34 starters for this final. So the drivers tuning back into the circuit. Again, it's changed a fair bit since they were last on circuit a couple of hours ago. Mostly dry on the racing line, but you still see there that inside line out of the Fullerton S's just shows you do not want to get onto those damp patches at this present time. This could be a very interesting run towards the Bruno Ferrari S's, particularly for anyone starting on driver's left-hand side. I expect a lot of them to want to hook it in tight, squeeze those a little bit starting on the pole side of the grid so that they don't run out wide once they get to that high-speed chicane. Here we go then, 10 minutes plus 1 lap for the first time here today. The Icebreaker Cup finals are underway here in Minimax. Away we go down towards the Bruno Ferrari S's. Good start for those on the pole side of the grid. Are they all going to make it through? Looking pretty good on this first occasion. round onto the bowl and then the Litchfield Bridge for the first time. Otis Cleary has retained the lead here. No, he hasn't. Austin Oman's got through. That flash of orange and blue for Sam Pollard Racing to the front of the order then on lap 1, down towards hairpin number 1. This is a part of the circuit that's really changed a lot since they last raced. Otis Cleary trying to draw alongside there on the run into hairpin number 2. Looks like they've all made it through pretty much. Maybe Ethan Manzi a little bit off the back of the pack. But apart from that, looking all good for our 34 drivers. Out of the Fullerton S's on lap 1. This is the part of the course that can be a bit tricky. Ooh, you don't want to go. I think that was Hugo McCluskey for the Origin Motorsport team, finding himself on the inside on the approach to Bobby Game corner. But no problems as we come through to complete lap number 1. Oman leads, Cleary second. Rolf, good start from Maria Roberto. She's up to 4th place. Benedictus Masiokas holding in 5th. Great start for Dimi Uzanov as well, up 5 places to P7 at the end of lap 1. And what did we mention earlier about Dimi doing double duties? And the last time he was out on circuit was at 1 o'clock for the Water Swift second heat. He's got a little bit more knowledge than the rest of the drivers perhaps in terms of how the circuit is performing right now. Meanwhile, back at the front of the order, here goes Cleary down the inside, takes the race lead away from Austin Oman. Oman switchbacks out of hairpin number 2, side by side into the Fullerton S's. Great racing once again here in Minimax. A new age, a new group of drivers coming through for 2026. We've seen quite a few of the top runners from 2025. New Emerson, McAndrew Urens, Josh Cormack, all of these, they've all moved up, of course, into junior rotax. Austin Oman, he stayed in the division though, the number 6 seed from last year. Understandable, because last year was only his first year in Minimax. Good move down the inside there. Was that Evan Meller going for a move in the number 17? Quite possibly so. To end of the second lap, Dimi Uzanov up 6th place now. That's 6 places gained for number 62. There down the inside is a move for 2nd place. Logan Rolfe takes that away from Otis Cleary. Otis Cleary responds straight back down the inside. Good moments these for Austin Oman. Gives him a little bit of breathing room. 7 minutes to go then. Where does the next move come from then? Looks like the number 112 of Benedictus Masiokas, which tricked me for a moment there. Benedictus has changed helmets. He's not running in his normal Ayrton Senna tribute helmet, but it is still him, I assure you, in the 112. So Masiokas has taken that 4th place away from Maria Roberto on the last lap. Here comes Ascend down the inside. Otis Cleary takes the lead of the race. That's the difference to an hour and a half ago. You can now use the width of PF International. It's very wide there into the first couple of corners, but Owen's got it back, so Owen must have done another switch back coming onto the Litchfield Bridge. Rolf down the inside takes 2nd place momentarily away from Cleary. Looks like he's going to have a better shot here because he'll have the line out of hairpin number 2. Squeezes a little bit, uses all the track there. Good work by Logan Rolfe. Another driver whose racecraft has really improved a lot in the last year. Learned a lot with his trips out to Spain for the Pilsen T4 Nations Cup at the back end of 2025. It feels to me he's got a newfound confidence at the wheel. Just looking at the body language of him as a driver. He's been racing for a good few years now as the driver of the number 33. He's now trying to challenge Austin Oman. New fastest lap of the race from Luke Millwood. Luke's had a bit of a quiet day, but he's still running in the top 15. British champion in Micromax a couple of years ago. The driver who, in fact, pinched that title right at the end of the season from the driver who was in the lead of this race. Here comes Logan Rolfe, and here they all come now. Masiokas and Cleary side by side for 3rd place. Maria Roberto nearly gaining a spot out of that. Keep an eye on Dimi Uzanov, though. I like the look of that number 62 machine. And Oscar Kenny coming into play now as well. Good work by Oscar Kenny so far on this lap. Number 48 there as Oman sticks one down the inside. Nice move into Bobby Game. retakes the lead away from Logan Rolfe. That's good tactics. Oh, was out of the race. Luke Millward. Oh, well there, unfortunately, I think Luke's been given a bad draw by the commentary curse. We just mentioned that he was getting on pretty well as, there we go, through into the lead once again, Logan Rolfe. Love that transition as well. Otis Cleary up into P2. Millward out of this race, unfortunately, just after we said that he was getting along quite nicely. Now, how does Austin Oman respond to this? I was about to say before all of that happened, Austin Oman keeping himself at the front, you know, getting back onto the front foot, not letting himself go back into the pack, which is something that you definitely want to do in Minimax. It can very easily be a case of you lose one position and before you know it, 5, 6, 7 have gone, because it's always close, it's always tight. The problem he's got right now, though, is Rolfe and Cleary have got some very, very good pace. This is going to be sending a message to the others behind to say, we can't work with Austin Oman. He's not got the pace of the front two today, and we want to win this race. 1 minute 2.70 last time around for your race leader, Logan Rolfe. Maria Roberto has got back up to 6th place, back ahead of Dimi Uzanov. Joshua, oh dear, is out of the race. Is the 118. That's Finley Beals for the George Whitbread racing team, the team in the pink, white and black. That looked to be on the exit of the Mike Wilson complex. Yes, it was, in sector number 3. And unfortunately, Finley drops to the bottom of the order and out of this race. Becomes the second retirement from this one. Masiokas holding a bit of a train right now. Dimi Uzanov looking underneath. Uzanov has got back up into 5th place. Austin Oman digging deep. Austin Oman's pace right now is pretty good. Uzanov trying to get through. Oh, just about manages to do it. I thought we were going to see Masiokas going for a bit of a ride there, but held on to it. Jensen sails back up to 6th place as well. So in that bright yellow race suit with the green, blue and white helmet, I say knows this part of the world very, very well. It's a local to Lincolnshire. Got very good track knowledge. And has got through into 5th place there. Didn't quite have the right setup on for the second heat. So his position further down the order at the start of this race isn't truly reflective of how he has got the pace today. Clear, he's going to squeeze through and take the race lead away from Logan Rolfe. Perfect move there from Otis Cleary. Got to say, irrespective of the result today, I've been very impressed with Otis Cleary. Otis has a good level of experience, but not as much as the two drivers behind. You wouldn't know it with how he's raced here today. And he's definitely in the mix for this Icebreaker Cup victory. Group there, involving the likes of Sale, Kenny, Mellor. 90 seconds to go then. Side by side once again between Rolfe and Oman. Oman trying to get down the inside. He's got him. Austin Oman back up into 2nd place. Austin Oman using his experience to dig deep here. He will have a little bit of an advantage with the longer races. He's got that prior year's experience here in Minimax. As Kenny goes in there on Sale. That's for 6th place. And I don't think that quite works. No, it didn't. Well, I think it did on Sale, but then another driver got through. I think Evan Mellor might have got both of them in that exchange. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and everybody else here. All stacked up behind Dimi Uzanov right now. The pace of that top 3. We've just taken the opportunity of a top 3 podium away from all of those drivers today. Still some time on the clock. These 3 will go again before they see the final lap board. Here comes the move from Austin Oman. He made it work 1 lap ago on Logan Rolfe. If it worked once, try it again. He's got it done. Back into the lead then for Sam Pollard Racing. Goes Austin Oman. Got to check down. Otis Cleary's got a little bit of a lane. Good corner entry speed there from Austin Oman. Just nipped Otis Cleary to the apex. Logan Rolfe still there as well. in third place. Battle raging for fourth. Looks like Kenny has got past Masiokas and into fifth place. Well, if there were any doubts whether Minimax was going to continue to deliver into 2026 with the amount of talent that's moved up into the junior categories, this race alone at the club level here for the Icebreaker Cup is delivering us our answer. It's still going to be as good as it ever was. There's a back marker there that's just going to keep over and out of the way of the top three. Good driving there. I think that was Finley Forks just making sure he didn't get in the way through the first couple of corners. Austin Oman checking to the left-hand side. He knows where a move can be made. He knows that's a point where it can be made, and he's covered it off. More chances, though. Otis Cleary can't get down the inside there into hairpin number one. He can get off of hairpin number one. He's got through. Takes the race lead. Logan Wolf nearly into second place. Austin Oman's still there, though. And there are more opportunities to overtake around this BF International circuit. Rolf down the inside of Oman. That's good for Cleary. Cleary's got this race won. Cleary is away and gone. Rolf's gone for second place. There's a gap now between first and second place. Austin Oman trying to fight back here. Did he make his move a little bit too early? Maybe so. Otis Cleary is going to be your first Icebreaker Cup winner of the day here at PFI. Otis Cleary wins in Minimax 950. A tremendous race to start the finals. Logan Rolfe comes home P2. Austin Oman P3. A good start to his season. Oscar Kenny and Dimitar Uzanov complete the top five. There is your second place driver then, Logan Rolfe. Went in there and got that one at the Fullerton S's, and it just gave Otis Cleary that gap to not have to worry about the last couple of corners. And takes the win. The result provisional, of course, with them all over the line. Let's read through it. Otis Cleary takes the win then in Minimax 950 from Logan Rolfe. Austin Oman third, Oscar Kenny fourth. Dimitar Dimi Uzanov P5, Benedictus Masiokas P6, Evan Meller, Jensen Sale, Maria Roberto and Eddie Duncan. Great drive there from Eddie Duncan. Let's keep an eye on that name in 2026. Up 13 positions there for Strawberry Racing. Lewis Herbertson P11 ahead of Ted Hayward. Jackson Hilton 13th. Solid start for Riley Blakemore in his time in Minimax 950. 14th place today for Thule Motorsport, gained a couple of positions in that final. 5 spots gained for even Janicevich for Strawberry Racing as well in the 167. Chloe McGill went forward in that final as well, up 3 to 16th ahead of teammate Teddy Murphy on her first run, or first major run, I think, in Minimax here at PF. Dexter Petty 18th, Freddie Blackshaw 19th, Joshua Cook up 10 places in that one. We'll keep an eye on the Cookie Monster later on in the season. Of course, there'll be better days for Joshua in that 175 machine. Hugo McCluskey came home into 21st place. Noah Wicklow, Adam Butt, Kevin Kakoldi and William Moore all in the top 25. Several drivers here taking big steps up in terms of, this was their first big Minimax race. Well done to all of them. Theo Fraher in 26th ahead of Thomas Laidler, who gained 6 places in that race. Ethan Manzi, Jensen Skeffington. Jensen was top novice today in the 133. 2 positions gained to 29th, just ahead of Jack Hill. Great improvements for Jack Hill across the course of the day. So that's another name that we'll keep an eye on in the coming months. James Devereaux outside the top 30, unfortunately, today had problems. Luke Millward did as well, and Finley Forks. 2 retirements, well, 1 retirement and 1 non-starter. Finley Beals was a retirement, and Hugo Torpy did not take the start. And that is as done then for Minimax 950 today. We're in store for another great season in Minimax 950 at both the club and national level. Let's get ready, though, for the next final. We go even younger this time. Micromax out next. So 10 minutes of a Micromax UK final in store for us. Another big grid here at PF International. Thank you so much to everyone who's got their carts ready and entered and taken part in this 2026 Icebreaker Cup. Here they are then, your finalists in Micromax UK. They line up a little bit like this. Sebastian Crawford starts on pole position. Freddie Walker alongside on the front row. Arlo Gamble and J.M. Prakash go from row number 2. It's Kian Hay and Jensen Darlow row 3. Hendrix Falat and Ronnie Allen start on row 4. Wrapping up the top 10 for the start of this race is Will Wainwright and Kai Surrey. Heath Smith starts on row 6. A very accomplished Bambino driver in the RCE and is joined by William Hatton on row 6. Benjamin Schlivar is on row 7. Has raced a lot already this year. Was racing out in Dubai a couple of weeks ago. Wraith Owen alongside Rio Pocock and Lenny Barton on row 8. Tommy Love joined Logan Edwards. Logan Edwards, another very accomplished Bambino driver, now on row 9. Oliver Woodall and Junior Wright on row 10. It's then Roger Pratap, Sakawat and Caden Hanley on row 11. Archie Gupta and Bobby Slater go from row 12. Jensen Drummond and Elliot Hitch on row 13. Lanny Edun and Aurelia Simpson go from 14. Jack Gould and Ottilie Simpson row 15. Ralph Ewer, Jack Dundee and Milo Taylor complete the 33 strong field. All drivers mentioned there out on circuit, present and correct for what will be a 10 minutes plus 1 lap final to find our 2026 Icebreaker Cup winner in Micromax. False start then to begin. So we'll go around for an additional formation lap. Still see that wet patch off to driver's left-hand side down into turn 1. That is going to be an area that Micromaxers should be able to avoid, say, them simply being smaller in stature and kart size than the other categories should mean that they can hold drivers right. I'm not getting any bother with that. Big thank you to all of you watching right now, all of our SlipStream members on this first broadcast, first SlipStream broadcast powered by Alpha Live. Keep your comments coming in. Let us know who you're supporting and let us know your predictions for this race as well. Sebastian Crawford has looked very good so far today. Freddie Walker's had good pace as well. I'd love to see Hendrix Falat have a good race in this one though. Should have had 2 second places heading into this final. But that's not always how karting and motorsport works. You've got to get to that checkered flag. He does start still in a decent position, P7. So keep an eye out for that bright yellow, dark grey and black kart, the number 15, starting on the 4th row of the grid. So through the Mike Wilson complex then, on this additional formation lap, it'll still be 10 minutes plus 1 lap. Sebastian Crawford will take the pace then out of the final corner towards the lights. Are we racing this time? No, we're not. It's another false start, the anti-pole side of the grid. Too quick there. Race officials looking for parity across the front row. Oh, there's also one driver who I think had some problems. I think that's Jack. Yes, it was Jack Dundee in the number 88. So at least that false start gives Jack the opportunity to rejoin the pack. Big thanks to our Orange Army here today. Easy for commentators, in a box, inside, in the warm, not bracing the elements. But at a circuit the back end of the weekdays, so sampled how cold it is to be on a post at this time of year, and we could not go racing without them. Now, front two are going to get a little bit of instructions here from our race officials, because they must not have another false start here, otherwise there's going to be trouble. There's Sebastian Crawford on the left-hand side of your screen. Freddie Walker now in the new as... Oh, one of the SPRs is off. Oh, and was that number 17 stuck on the curb of Kai Suri? That's a shame. Kai was meant to be starting this race in 10th place, but might miss the start here. Micromax has been told, let's keep it steady, boys and girls, round this final couple of corners. Let's get this race underway at the third time of asking. Into those tram lines. This is looking better from the Micromaxes. And yes, we are green. We're racing then down towards turn number 1. It's a good start for Freddie Walker. Freddie Walker takes the early advantage. A couple of drivers cutting across the grass there through the Bruno Ferrari S's. But apart from that, it's looking okay. One driver to the inside of the bowl may have a bit of difficulty getting out of there. Quite thick grass at this time of year. But down towards turn 1, it's Jane Prakash who leads this race. Jane Prakash has got through into the lead in the early stages. Well, what a story this would be. A driver who, in 2025, if there was an award for most improvement on a national stage, Jane Prakash would definitely be in the reckoning for it. But he hasn't been in this position before, at the front of a field, competing for race victories. Freddie Walker's down the inside and will retake that race lead through Bobby Game corner. Great start for those. Oh, but plus 5 second penalty for Freddie Walker. Now, I wonder, is this going to be a false start penalty? I think it will be, because the anti-pole side of the grid has said they had a very good start to that third attempt. Maybe too good a start. Freddie Walker can still win this Icebreaker Cup Micromax final, but he's now going to get 5 seconds down the road versus everybody else. Right now, 5 seconds would drop him down to around Lenny Barton in 12th place, that kind of region. So we've got drama here in Micromax. The stopwatches are going to be out. There's a driver off. He's done a Project 1, having a bit of trouble over the bridge. Maybe so. Kai Suri did get going again, by the way. So Kai's currently running in 30th place, just ahead of Aurelia and Ottilie Simpson. Good start for Jack Gold as well. I mentioned him because Jack is our top novice at the moment. Those novices on the black background plates with the white characters. Jack Gold currently up 6 places and into 23rd. Right, this race settling into a rhythm now. Let's count them through at the end of lap number 2. Caden Hanley's had a penalty as well, plus 3 seconds. That's going to be another start infringement. So Walker leads from Prakash, Darlow, Crawford. Fallon now up to P5. Gamble 6th. Owen, Hay, Hatton and Heath Smith completing the top 10 right now. As we're now into a good rhythm. 7.5 minutes of this race to go. And a lot to be decided. Right now, that 5 second penalty for Freddie Walker would drop Freddie to P8. So he'd be ahead of William Hatton. There's a nice move going in from Cian Hay. Cian Hay for KR Sports. He's now up to 7th place ahead of Rafe Owen. Keep an eye on Hendrix Fallat as well, because we know that number 50, there he is, Hendrix Fallat. And number 15 has got good pace, driving away from that group, currently headed up by Arlo Gamble and the number 72 Stab Pollitt Racing Machine. Six minutes and 30 seconds to go then. Changes in the order. Jensen Darlow has got through past Jane Prakash now. So still a good gap at the moment for Freddie Walker, but it's only a second. Right now, that would be not enough to take the race victory. Sebastian Crawford now up to 2nd place as well. Sebastian Crawford has looked quick all the way from free practice this morning. Hello once again to the comments section. Apologies, didn't have comments at our end here at the commentary position, but we've got them back now. So keep messages of support coming in. To Rich Morrow once again, Dirk and Henry Hales as well, cheering on Big Ben, and to Catherine Crow as well, cheering on a number of drivers in this race. It does sound like from some of our comments that there may have been some drama as well in the seniors, which we'll get onto in a bit. But right now, let's keep focused here on this this final for Micromax. 5 minutes of it to go, and the moment looks very much in favour of Sebastian Crawford. If you're just joining us, part of our membership, 5-second penalty from the start of the race. We had 2 false starts. The third one went green, but still wasn't fully to the liking of the race officials. So right now, Freddie Walker is trying to get a 5-second gap over these 3 drivers here: Sebastian Crawford, Jensen Darlow, and Jayan Prakash. Origin Motorsport have been in British karting for, I want to say, a couple of seasons now, or just over 18 months or so. Had some good results with Sebastian Crawford last year, hence their number 8 plate for this calendar year. But this would be a nice way for them to start their season. If they can get an Icebreaker Cup victory in the hands of Sebastian Crawford, could set them up for a very good club and national season. 3 minutes and 45 of this one to go. Not many changes in the top 15, so we'll go a little bit further down the order for some news. Shakawat is up to 17th place ahead of Logan Edwards. Ronnie Allen had problems in the early stages of this race, but has just got past Archie for 21st place. And Kai Surrey, we saw Kai stuck on the curb during the formation lap. Well, Kai's having a good run from the back of the field. Is now up to 23rd place. It's just gone fastest of anyone through sector number 1. So, yeah, it's not going to be a top 10 perhaps today, but still something to smile about with the pace that we're seeing here in this final. So 3 minutes to go then. Lap times at the moment in the low 1 minute 7s, the high 1 minute 6s. Fastest driver at the moment is the driver third on the road. In fact, we need to keep an eye on that battle for second on the road. This is effectively for the race lead right now, because Jensen Darlow has just put in a 1 minute 6.78 and is really starting to turn the pressure up on Sebastian Crawford. Bit of traffic coming into play now as well. Is that going to be the 67 of Milo Taylor? Yes, it is. So Milo has gained 2 places in this race so far. Checks over the shoulder. And very nice. He just keeps out of the way of the leaders there. That's good driving from Milo, particularly on a day like this where the track is still wide, but the amount of grip out there is not. Sebastian Crawford has really kicked on that lap as well. That was a big one from Sebastian Crawford, knowing that he'll be aware that Freddie Walker has got that plus 5 second penalty. The gap hasn't gone up beyond 2 seconds, so Freddie Walker in a net position is still, well, he'd end up around 6th right now. We have got some news from Senior X30, but we'll discuss that later. Give the younger drivers the respect and the attention that they deserve. It's been a calm final. I still feel like it could really light up in the latter stages. We've seen a change there for 4th place, which at the moment is a position in the top 3 podium, because once that 5 second penalty for the leader is applied, Hendrix Fant is back into 3rd place right now. Just taking that one from Jane Prakash, and Kian Hayes still there, doing a very good job for KR Sports. So, 2 laps to go. Walker leading by 1.82. Not enough. to hold on to this race victory. So Crawford right now, fastest in warm-up this morning. Had a good qualifying yesterday. Wasn't quite able to get the result that the Origin Motorsport team would have hoped for at the start of the day, but Crawford has been very, very strong in race trim today. Here's a good scrap as well. This is Prakash and Hay. This is over 5th place on the road, but effectively 4th once the penalties have been applied. Down the inside goes Cian Hay. Textbook move through hairpin 1, and Cian's going to be very, very happy about that indeed. Time will run out on this lap, so the leaders will see the final lap board in a few moments' time as Falat gets through past Darlow. The Hendricks Falat back into 3rd place on the road, 2nd place once adjudications have been applied. This is the position that Hendricks Falat has been in both of the heats earlier on today. Something has always happened on the last lap. Hopefully not on this occasion in this final. They're a little further back. No, that's actually your race leader, just catching up to some lap traffic. Just getting through there past Ralph Ewer in the Pro Train number 53. Will be a little bit frustrating this for Freddie. That +5 second penalty, that start was pretty much the only thing that Freddie's not quite got right today. But the pace, oh dear, misjudges the number 55's entry point into the Bobby Game corner. Oh, that might give more. Oh, is that front fairing now going to drop? I don't think it's not going to make any difference because Walker already had a +5 from the start of the race. Freddie Walker will take it on road, but Sebastian Crawford is going to be your Icebreaker Cup winner in Micromax. Hendricks Falat over the line. A very well-deserved podium for Hendricks Falat, who's learnt from mistakes in the heat to get a big result here today. Jensen Darlow, 4th on the road, should inherit a top 3 with the +5 for Walker earlier on in the race. Cian Hay, 5th on the road. James Prakash, 6th on the road. Arlo Gamble, 7th. Rafe Owen, William Hatton, Oliver Woodall, all in the top 10. Great drives from all of those, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun watching those drivers. I'm expecting a lot of those names to have a really strong 2026, whether it be here at Trent Valley Kart Club, other clubs around the country, and nationally as well. Rio Pocock for Origin Motorsport. Good day for Origin Motorsport. 11th for Rio in that race. Heath Smith was first of the RCE's home in 12th place ahead of Caden Hanley. In 14th place, Will Wainwright. 15th place, Benjamin Schliver. Rutger Pratap Shahawat in 16th place. Logan Edwards 17th. Kai Surrey, great drive from Kai. Unfortunate to have that problem on the formation lap, but should be noted a drive from the back of the field to P18. Won't be shown in terms of a -8 from intended grid position, but we noted it here in the commentary position. It was a good drive. Lenny Barton 19th, Tommy Lovejoy 20th, Ronnie Allen, Bobby Slater, Archie Gupta, Elliot Hitch, Jack Gould and Jensen Drummond takes us to 26th. Then Jack Dundee up 5 places. 3rd of the rookies there. Jack Gould was your top novice, by the way, ahead of Drummond, ahead of Dundee. Aurelia Simpson, 28th. Lanny Eden, 29th. Ralph Ewer, Milo Taylor, and Ottilie Simpson, the last of the finishers. Junie Wright was not able to see the checkered flag. Well done to all of our Micromax drivers, our youngest drivers here today. Looking forward to seeing them whenever we do next time. But we're going to move on. Now we're going to move into the IAME categories. Water Swift is up next. So the IAME Water Swift category up next for their final. We'll have the grid for you in a few moments' time. Not too many surprises in this one from Heat number 2, we saw the result go the way of Ilyas Sami, Dimitar Uzanov P2, Mason Hibbert, Charlie Clough, and Chester Fawkes were in the top 5. Let's take you through the grid then. It's just popped up onto our screens here in the commentary position. Chester Fawkes will start from pole position once again. Has been there for the heats earlier on today. Had that problem though in the second heat. Will he have learned from that? Can he take this victory? He's going to have some big challenges today though. Charlie Clough alongside on the front row of the grid. Mason Hibbert and Dimitar Uzanov go from row 2. Been very impressed with Hero Say today. First time I've seen Hero race. But a good start alongside Alfie Davidson from row 3. This is the first time we see Alfie Davidson a little bit further up the grid as well. But don't count out the number 5 seed from last year. Bodie Batch and Margaret Skavetsky go from row 4. Kind of not seeing Bodie Batch out on our timing screen there, so we'll keep an eye on that. Oliver Say and Ethan Owen on row 5. Ethan Robinson and Ilyas Sami on row 6. Remember, Ilyas had a retirement from the first heat. That's why Ilyas is a little bit further back. That's another driver probably not in the right point of the grid versus how much speed they've got. Reggie Chandler and Teddy Higgs go from 7. Roger Gokulnath and Finley Bedford, they're on row 8. Frank Morris and Oliver Kleinfelter go from row 9. Travis Giddings and Ronnie Faulkner on row 10. Hugo Williamson and Piran Brooks go from row 11. Hello once again to Richard Morrow, who agreed. Great podium for Hendrix Ballat in the last race. Yes, absolutely. Good to see a driver bounce back. We've got one driver off the back of the pack, which I think is Bodie Batch. So Bodie Batch is in this race, but not part of the main pack. Oh, and it's going to miss the start as well. We've gone green. 10 minutes, but 1 lap underway then for the Water Swim final here at the Icebreaker Cup 2026. Good start for Chester Fawkes. Will lead through the first couple of corners. Mason Hibbert has had a good start as well for Fusion Motorsport. The number 8 up to second place straight away. Round and over the Litchfield Bridge they go. Down towards hairpin 1 then. Inevitably going to be a few positions swapped back and forth through the hairpins on this first lap. Chester Fawkes started this race well. Chester used to have a little bit of an issue with race starts. Not down to him as a driver. It was often that his equipment had a bit of a period of not quite being ready for the race. What it has made in a clean way is a driver who's very, very quick in the middle part of the race. What used to have to fight back, regain positions, regain time. So now that Chester Fawkes' machine is getting the race starts right, this is going to be a tall order for anyone to take him on and get this win off of him. But we did see it happen in heat number 2 in the hands of Ilyas Sami, and talk about Ilyas Sami, 5 positions gained. The driver of the number 26 on that first lap. So Sami up to P7. Alfie Davidson has held in 6th place, was just taken 5th place away from Dimitar Uzanov. So that was a move going up onto the bowl. Travis Giddings has had a good start as well. Mason Hibbert goes in. Mason Hibbert wants to take the fight to Chester Fawkes then. So a new race leader here on lap number 2. Charlie Clough down the inside as well. Very experienced drivers are both Hibbert and Clough, raced on both a national and continental fronts throughout the course of the last couple of years. And again, the psychological side of Water Swim. Last year, 2025, big battles between these two teams, Fusion Motorsport and XL Motorsport. XL Motorsport, the British Emirati team, big presence out in places like Dubai, coming into British karting, really took the fight to Fusion Motorsport. Oh, Hero Say had a go there at Chester Fawkes into turn 1 for 3rd place. Chester held on right in front of Alfie Davidson as well. Chester Fawkes digging deep here, trying to pull that top 2 back. This is going to be a good race. I can feel it. I can feel this is going to be a really, really close run affair. If you can keep yourself in that top group, you've got a chance. And keep an eye on Ilyas Sami as well in that green and white kart. Number 26, the half and half helmet design. We know Ilyas Sami is great in these conditions. We saw it in heat number 2. And Sammy already back up to 6th place and nearly on the back of this group of 5, fighting for the race win. Through into the Mike Wilson complex they go. Hibbert leads from Clough, then Fawkes, then Davidson and Say. So Davidson has got through into 4th place now. I would still say he's one of the favourites for this race. Remember, started both of the heats from P22 on the grid. So he's got his eye in terms of where to overtake, where you can make progress. As there's a move from Clough down the inside of Hibbert for the race lead. Did Davidson have a go at Fawkes as well for 3rd place? No, Fawkes has got through into 2nd place. So Hibbert shuffled down the order now to P4. Ilias Sami now in a 3-1 with 0K. I don't think the two Fusions realised they were 3-1. That was a wise piece of driving from Ilias Sami just to back out of that one. Live to fight for another day. Dimi Udanov in the Birol ART there for James, for the Jade Racing team, is potentially going to get involved in this as well. The number 62 in 7th place, we've been saying all day, has got really good knowledge of how this track is driving. Change for 2nd place. Davidson is through past Chester Fawkes. Now they've got to regroup again. Close down Charlie Clough. It's still going on over that battle for 5th place. Here I'd say keeping ahead of Ilias Sami. Uzanov is now part of this, and Margaret Kvetskis on the parallel is coming into play as well. Down the inside, side by side between the teammates, nearly a touch. Was there a touch between Hibbert and Say there through the Bruno Ferrari S's? It's carrying on as they go up onto the Litchfield Bridge. Still Charlie Clough in the lead of this race, but this is a big opportunity now. Clough, Davidson, Fawkes are breaking away from the rest of the field. Stay holding 4th place. Sammy down the inside. In comes Mason Hibbert, 3 wide for a moment through hairpin number 1. Sammy brilliantly reads that. Can he break away from this pack now? Uzanov now back down the inside of Say for 5th place. They nearly touch again as they come off of hairpin number 2. And who's that coming into play? I think it's Oliver Sayers also back into contention for a spot inside the top 5. It is all going on again, once again, here in Miami Water Swift. New season, same frenetic racing in Miami Water Swift that we've become accustomed to. 4.5 minutes to go. Here are your top 3. Charlie Clough leads from Alfie Davidson and Chester Fawkes. But Davidson now starting to turn up the pressure, goes for the race lead. Holding round the outside there is Charlie Clough. Is that outside line round the bowl starting to grip up now? Not on that occasion. Davidson has got through, has taken the race lead. This is the first time we've seen this today. Davidson leading here at the Icebreaker Cup. But anyone familiar with the cadets and inter ranks, particularly in the Miami formulas of British karting, will be familiar with the sight of Alfie Davidson being at the front of the field. This is the kind of work that he did so many times in 2024 on his way to that British Championship in Miami Water Swift Restricted. He knows how to deal with the pressure. He knows when to push. He knows when to keep things bottled up. He's kicking now. He's trying to break away from Charlie Clough and Chester Fawkes here. 3.5 minutes to go. This could be a big lap now. This could be a really big lap in the story of this race. This is the part of the circuit, though, where it's difficult to lead, particularly in Water. You can see there, that gap over the line of 1/4 of a second, it's gone. Clough has been able to drag back towards the number 5 and he's pulled Chester Fawkes with him. Ilias Sami in a bit of a lonely spot now, running P4. Just to note further down the order, Bodie Batch had problems before the start, has actually rejoined the main pack and is now up to 17th place. So fair credit to Bodie Batch. This is a bit of a glorified test session now for the number 88. But showing pace there to start to cut up through the field. Another lap nearly completed then. Davidson still ahead of Clough. Davidson looks good in the corners, got to say. Alfie Davidson looks really, really strong through sector number 3, and that is a very useful thing to have right now, because across the line again, look, over the course of a 1 lap, Davidson is quicker than Clough here. Chester Fawkes may need to make a move, and he does make a move. Down the inside, onto the bowl. Chester Forks went for second place, got second place. Perfectly timed move there for Forks. Oh, runs a little bit wide though off of the Litchfield Bridge. 2 last laps. Davidson has looked very, very good through the more technical parts of this PF International circuit. We're talking from hairpin 2, through the Fullerton S's, Bobby Game, and then into the Mike Wilson complex, the corner dense part of the circuit where Alfie Davidson looks really, really tuned in. Now we'll see, has Chester Forks got comparable pace versus the number 5 through this part of the course? Can Chester Forks stay on the rear bumper of Davidson when we're talking a 10th here, a 10th there? I think he can, you know. Chester Forks similarly looks very quick through that technical part of the circuit. Clough once again just drops off the back a little bit. 1 minute to go. I reckon we'll have 3 more laps here. I reckon there'll be time still on the board, and Forks has gone for it straight away up the inside of Alfie Davidson to retake the lead of this race with 60 seconds to go. Davidson responds back on the latter part of the bowl, retakes the lead by the time they're off the Litchfield Bridge. This is a sensational race between 3 very talented drivers, and it's not done yet. And I still wouldn't count out Ilyas Sami. Ilyas Sami's pace, given that he's on his own, is absolutely tremendous. He's doing 1 minute 5.03. He's pretty much on the pace of the top 3. But as I say, he's got no buddies with him. He's got no one giving him a draft. He's got no one giving him a bump draft behind as well. He's still there. If these top 3 have a bit of a moment, and we can see moments happen from time to time around PF International, do not count out kart number 26. Right, we're going to have 2 more laps to go. They'll come over the line with about 4 seconds remaining on the clock. What does Chester Forks do now? Does he sit? Does he wait? Does he go for the same move again? He sits and waits. I like that tactic. I like that tactic from Chester Forks. We know that Alfie Davidson is good around this part of the course. Chester Forks just playing a waiting game now trying to get the numbers down perhaps. Charlie Clough, you can see him shrimping down there, has got to dig really, really deep now to try and catch up to these top 2. The chances are thinning down. A few updates further down the field just to give you. Ethan Robinson back up to 11th place, has got ahead of Reggie Chandler. Bodie Batch continues his progress back through the field. 16th place now, ahead of Finley Bedford. Mason Hibbert's faded in this one, unfortunately. He's now down to 9th place. That's a loss of 6 places. That indicate to me the setup not quite right on that number 8 machine for this race. But now we're going to find out. Davidson, this last lap, that is another tremendous sector number 3. This is what we talk about with Alfie Davidson. His reading of the race, his reading of when to kick, when to push hard. Chester Forks has gone in though. That was a really good run down the pit straight. Forks has gone for the lead. Has he kept it round onto the bridge? No, once again. Davidson has got the lead back on that second half of the bowl, whipping round onto the Litchfield Bridge. Was that Forks' chance to win the Icebreaker Cup? Is Alfie Davidson going to win this final, having started at the back of the grid for both heats? This would be a tremendous statement-making win for Alfie Davidson at the start of a brand new British karting season here at Trent Valley Kart Club, into the last couple of corners. And again, this is where Davidson's been strong. You don't see him getting beaten in this part of the course. What a race this has been from the Water Swifts, but it's going to go the way of Alfie Davidson. Out of the final corner, Alfie Davidson for Fusion Motorsport wins at the Icebreaker Cup in Water Swift. Chester Forks P2, Charlie Clough P3, Ilyas Sami across the line in 4th. 4 very deserving drivers there in the top 4. It is going to be tremendous fun watching them across the course of this calendar year. What a way to do it though for Alfie Davidson. From the back of the grid in both of the heats, he never gave up. He knew he'd have a chance in this final, and he takes it. P1 for kart number 5. That is not going to be the last time we say that this year. Oh no, Margaret Kvetskis has come to a stop on the last lap. Oh, we were about to go through the rest of the order, but unfortunately for Margaret Kvetskis, Margaret will be classified last. Deserves a lot more. Has switched into the BMR awning for this year. And, well, that's not what he deserved in this one. Davidson wins then from Forks, from Clough, Ilyas Sami fourth. Here I'd say in the top 5, impressive there. Dim Utznoff P6 ahead of Mason Hibbert, Oliver Tsay, Ethan Owen and Reggie Chandler all in the top 10. Bodie Batch, that's a real shame for Bodie. I reckon he could have also been in that fight in the top 5 today. In the end, P11 having started off the back of the field on the formation lap. Teddy Hicks P12, Travis Giddings, good drive up 6 places to 13th. Roger Golkanath in 14th ahead of Ethan Robinson. Finley Bedford, Oliver Kleinfelter, Ronnie Faulkner in 18th place. Hugo Williamson 19th and Frank Morris home in the top 20. Perrin Brooks, the last of the finishers, and we would have had 22 finishers from 22, but unfortunately Marcus Kvetskis having a problem on the last lap will be classified 1 lap down. Wow, we'll catch our breath after that one. Well done to the Miami Water Swifts. 4 more races to go. We step up into the full-size karts now. Next final up, Junior X30. So into the Junior X30 final now. This is going to be another busy one based on what we've seen over the past 30 minutes or so. Rocket Leon Shenton starts on pole position. Imperious so far today on the Buell ART. Aaron Richardson alongside on the front row. George Edgar is going to be a threat though, starting on the inside of row number 2 alongside Max Mason. George House could be a threat as well. Last year's Miami Euro Series X30 Mini champion. Starts 5th, is joined by Alfie Brown on row 3. Jacob Marples and George Clark start on row number 4. Kate Donaldson and Harley Musk go from row 5. James Nolan and Marnie Kira on row 6. Charlie Blenkinsop and Night Measures row 7. Barney Copley and Finley Hines in the middle of the field there on row 8. Freddie Wood and Jacob Bachelor on row number 9. Archie Rogers Tyler and George Quinlan on row 10, Luke Narroway and Hayden Fisher row 11, Joseph Davis and Jack McLaughlin row 12, Lewis Hay and Ethan Woodward row 13, Max Thay and Orion Meta go from row 14, Callum Graham and Enzo Butterazzi on row 15, Ayrton, Limmer Evans and Kate Clark will be the last of the drivers in this one on row 16, and not big start, behind. Well, if Finley Hines does take the start, it could be a similar situation to Bodie Batch in the last race. Coney not showing on timing and scoring is out towards the back. James Nolan may also be a little bit further back than originally planned. So, these top 3, very, very strong, all seeded drivers from last year's national championships. This could be quite a dramatic race. And that was Ayrton Limmer Evans just towards the back of the field there. Looking to rejoin by the time we get this one underway. Hello to Gillian Bennett cheering on Aaron Richardson for this final. Let's see how it goes then in this 10 minutes plus 1 lap display to get things going for Junior X30 in a final capacity, but not yet. That was a news for Ayrton Evans, though, able to rejoin the pack here. Yeah, no Finley Hines on timing and scoring, or at least setting sector times on these formation laps. So we will have 31. Good comments coming in. And spread the word as well. We're enjoying the first ever SlipStream broadcast powered by Alpha Live. And enjoy the commentary as well at Andrew Manning Commentary at _NN across your various social media networks. Track conditions still pretty stable. Juniors will be happy that they've got in before the forecasted rain. And as ever, I always take a forecast with a bit of a pinch of salt. I'll believe what the weather's doing until I see it actually happening out on track. Shenton in the number 6 on the Birrell ALT. Generally a privateer run machine. Aaron Richardson, the X30 powerhouse of Fusion Motorsport in British karting. Should be a really good race, this. Could be a potential race of the week, depending on how things go. Into those tram lines for the second time. This is looking like an even start. We're green. We're racing for 10 minutes plus 1 here at BFI for the Icebreaker Cup final. Little bit of shenanigans through the first couple of corners. Don't think it was a good start for Aaron Richardson. A bit compromised on driver's left there. But Shenton will lead as they go off. No, Shenton will not lead. George Edgar's got the lead as they come off of the Litchfield Bridge for the first time. Shenton P2. Now, where is Richardson gone here? Gone outside of the top 5. I don't think he's come through the first sector. I think Aaron Richardson may be out of this race. Oh, that's such a shame for the driver third in the British Championships last year. Would have wanted a good final here. Look to get another final victory, but it's not going to happen. It's come through the first sector now, but a lot slower than I would have expected. Freddie Wood on the move there, down the inside of one of the BMRs. That may be Jacob Batchelor in the middle of the field. Let's count them through at the end of the first lap. Big start then from George Edgar. And look at the gap that the top two have got now over Alfie Brown in third. 2 seconds clear of Alfie Brown. Max Mason fourth, George House fifth. Katie Donaldson's had a decent start as well. Up 3 places to 6. Marples, Nolan Clark and Kira in the top 10. Where has Aaron Richards got? Richardson's all the way down in 18th places. Here goes Shenton for the race lead. Down the inside of George Edgar. Sweet move on the brakes. Nicely pulled off move there from Rocco Lee and Shenton. Who I've got to admit, I am surprised to see is still in juniors. I thought he was going to be moving up to seniors, but anyway, still enjoying his time here in Junior X30. And through the Mike Wilson complex. These are 2 very, very talented drivers, if I may say so. I had the pleasure of watching Rocco race. I remember his first ever races on the channel here. Wilton Mill Kart Club as a Honda cadet on novice plates. He would come flying through the field and make you think, hang on a minute, this boy's got a little bit of talent. And he's continued to prove that over the years as he's gone up through the ranks of karting here in the UK. George Edgar, of course, from a big motorsport family. And has already got a roll of achievements as long as your arm in his young racing career. As, oh dear, out of the race, number 41. That's one of the TB karts. That's going to be Barney Copley. And Barney was having a really good race up to that point. Was in the top 15. But unfortunately, something has gone awry there through sector number 2. And Barney will take no further part in this race. End of lap number 3 then. So that 2-second gap between Edgar in second and Brown in third. But should just note, Alfie Brown quicker than the 2 leaders. Not by a lot, but was quicker on that last tour. And that's quite impressive, considering Alfie's not got any helpers at the moment. Maybe this is the point at which the top 2 start to react. And sure enough, George Edgar goes purple through sector number 1. That was until Sukwani Kira went purple through sector number 1. So 6.25 minutes of this one to go. Shenton and Edgar out front. Brown a little bit lonely at the moment in third place. George House in fourth. George, who, yes, is another one of those I put in that category of has recently moved from 950mm chassis racing up into the full-size machinery. But crucially, George did it a couple of months to go at the back end of last year, which I think was a very wise move. For example, he raced in the junior category at the Miami Warriors final. Didn't choose to try and do the double of both Miami Euro Series and the IWF title in Mini last year. Wanted to get into the junior kart as soon as possible to get ready for this brand new season, and credit to him at the moment, running in 4th place in this race for the XL Motorsport team. And again, I'm expecting big things from George House across the course of this year. And there is George House on the screens. Katie Donaldson having a good drive here, 5th place. And that's a change for 6th on your screens. As George Clark is now running there ahead of Max Mason and Sugmani Kira as well. Sugmani, or Sugars as she's nicknamed in the paddock, knows this track very well. I think, again, just having more experience now in the junior machinery, it's going to stand her in very good stead for this coming season. As here's a move for the lead. George Edgar goes in on Rockley and Shenton, but too deep on the brakes. Shenton wise to that, and retakes the lead. We're into the second half on time. It was quite a bold one from George Edgar. He's clearly set out his intentions with this last 4 minutes of this race. Now, how does Rockley and Shenton respond to this? It could just be classic Rocco fashion of push, push, push to try and break away from the number 2 seed nationally last year. One of the other troubles, though, we saw this a fair bit with Riley Cranham last year on his way to the British title. Rocco, being one of the older juniors, as Edgar's gone in again and again, it's not worked out. Shenton just holding that wider line. That's really clever racing by both of them. Just to finish that point in relation to Riley Cranham. Riley Cranham won the British title last year. The biggest downside he had all year, he's had a huge growth spurt just before the start of the 25 season. And he was a chasm in terms of giving other drivers slipstreams, particularly one J. Edgar. I think we've got a bit of a similar situation going on here. Rocco looks to have had a bit of a growth spurt. He's visibly taller, and that's punching a big hole in the air ahead of George Edgar, who himself is not the tallest driver in the world. He gets in a very good aerodynamic position. He is such a hard, tenacious driver to shake off when you are a leader. Let's see what happens here this time. This could be a third go from George Edgar down towards. This one looks better. He's much more alongside. He's got him. That one was all about the run off of the Litchfield Bridge. George Edgar got alongside early. Oh, Shenton sold in the dummy. Centre point forward. Went for the attack. Edgar's wide to it though and gets back into the race lead. Great racing once again from these two. George Edgar takes the lead then for Mick Barrett Racing. Now the next lap's going to be very telling. Does Shenton just sit there in second place, or does he go for a counter-attack? Can George Edgar now shake off Rocco Shenton? See him there. You can just his eyes barely peeping up beyond the steering wheel. Shenton's gone in. Shenton goes for the move onto the bridge. Did he take the lead there? There's a little sight further back in the field. Yes, he did. So Shenton kept the lead coming onto the Litchfield Bridge. That's put Edgar on the back foot a little bit now. Shenton covers off the middle of the road. No attempt, 4th time in a row into hairpin one for George Edgar. This is a fascinating duel. This is a great duel between two highly talented drivers in our sport of karting. Towards Bobby Game then. I think the corner speeds, the trouble is you can't get on the inside of that corner. It's too wet on the immediate driver's right. Here, Edgar absolutely hustling Shenton's rear axle at this point of the race. Does Edgar go for a similar move into the bowl. No, thinks better of it. He's just going to stick with his preferred choice of trying to get it done through the hairpins. That's where he's particularly quick. He also knows he doesn't want to make the move too early. We've still got a lap and a half to go. Edgar, a little bit of a lock-up there from Shenton. He gets it stopped. That is brilliant defensive work from Rocco Shenton. Another little lock-up there on the rear axle. These two are pushing each other to the limit here. Towards Bobby Game once again. You can see that wet line there. You cannot get down the inside at that corner. Edgar having a bit of a nibble now at the rear axle, the rear bumper of Shenton. 1 lap to go then in what has been a really entertaining X30 Junior final here at the Icebreaker Cup. Here comes Edgar alongside, down to the grass. No, can't make it stick. Whoa, that was to the edge racing there between Shenton and Edgar. It has given Shenton a bit of a gap, but this is where Edgar can now come back. Is he too far back though? He might be too far back. Edgar trying to close in once again. Shenton's not going to need to defend. Look on the brakes there from George Edgar. Has he got enough corners though to catch back up and make a move for the race lead? Edgar on the brakes is sensational. He's closed probably two. There's all kinds going on through hairpin number 1. George Edgar has probably got 2 more opportunities to do this. It's both going to be in the Mike Wilson complex. Shenton's had a really good Bobby Game corner though. Here comes the number 2. Is there a move down the inside? No. Shenton's going to win this. Out of the final couple of corners. Brilliant race between 2 brilliant drivers. Rocco Shenton wins in Junior X30 at PF again. This time in the Icebreaker Cup. George Edgar P2. Alfie Brown is on the podium with 3rd. Katie Donaldson finishes ahead of George House inside the top 5. What a race that was to get things going for the year in Junior X30 here at Trent Valley Kart Club. Rest of the field coming over the line. We'll give you the full provisional results in a moment, but what a run that was. That was fantastic to watch, fantastic to call. Credit to both drivers. They gave it everything. It may be a race just to get people going for the year, but those two raced as if there was, a big championship on the line. Both wanted to get one up on each other before the start of the national season. But there we go. Oh, we've had another one go on the last lap of a race. It's one of the Mick Barrett's there. I think it's Archie Rogers-Tyler. It is Archie Rogers-Tyler. Archie has had a torrid day. The only silver lining I can give is, Archie, surely you can't have a day worse than that at any point later this season. The only way is up now. Let's run through the order then. Rocco Shenton takes the win. George Edgar P2, Alfie Brown, Katie Donaldson, George House, that's your top 5. Sukmani Kira, George Clark, Aaron Richardson, Freddie Wood and Jacob Batchelor in the top 10. Harley Musk, Charlie Blenkinsop, Jacob Marples, Luke Narroway, George Quinlan, all in the top 15. Rest of the order looks a little bit like this. James Nolan, Jack McLaughlin, Max Mason, Enzo Butterazzi, Lewis Hay. That was your top 20. Hayden Fisher, Callum Graham, Ethan Woodward, Ryan Meta, Joseph Davis, Max Say, Ayrton Limmer Evans and Katie Clark, the last of the 28 finishers. 3 retirements in that race. Archie Rogers-Tyler, Barney Copley and Knight Measures. 2 non-starters, Finley Hines and Aaron Burhofer. We'll be back in a short few moments' time. Next up, Senior X30. Three races to go then here today at PF International for the Icebreaker Cup of 2026. The race rust well and truly off for Senior X30. We have got a bit of a situation though. There'll be a notable name missing from this grid. Lewis Bird will start on pole position. Nat Johnston alongside on the front row. Jack Nettleship and Hayden Eldridge on row 2. Joey Brown and Sebastian Mins go from row number 3. Next up, row number 4, Jack Dan and Aaron Brown. Jack's had a quiet day so far, so could be on for a good finish here. Cam Edmonds and Sam Lewis, they complete the top 10. It's then Ryan Gill and Alexander Benedictis on row 6. Alex Wiley and Liam Carabello row 7. Leif Kahn and Alf Gallagher row 8. Pietro Jurovic and Tom Powerbock row 9. Daniel Bridgen and Max Yule row 10. Dorian Malik and Jack Crockwell on row 11. Monty Brathwaite and Jamie English row 12. Ryan Sayers and Oliver Meek row 13. William Omar and Jack Owen Drawbridge row 14. Bailey Brooker and Archie Cole row 15. Ethan Higgins and James Harris on row 16. Oscar Cole and Warren Russell row 17. No Freddie Lloyd. Freddie Lloyd has been disqualified from the event for attempting to tamper with or reattach the front fairing. This was at the end of heat number 2 in this category. So we will not see the reigning British champion in this race, which for the neutrals of us, that's a real shame. Would have loved to see Freddie go at it today, but rules are rules, and that's a pretty clear one. Right, let's focus on who's on circuit. Here we go then. 34 drivers are going to have a false start to get things going for Senior X30. Keep the comments coming in, and thank you once again for your support of this first Slipstream broadcast powered by Alpha Live. If you're watching back later on in the week, or the week after, and you missed the live action, don't worry, you can watch it now at your leisure. But if you want to make sure that you don't miss a single final from a Slipstream broadcast this year, hit that join button as soon as possible to get live access to Slipstream event finals. Members are the only viewers who can watch the Slipstream finals live, and as they happen. Huge thanks to our members. You can watch the full broadcast live and uninterrupted from start to finish. This coverage subsidised by you, the members. Simply wouldn't happen without Slipstream and that membership system. And if you haven't yet, it takes less than 1 minute to join to get your Slipstream pass. And a note as well, if you do it on a non-iOS account or a device, so you do it on just YouTube on your PC or on an Android, it's $12.99 a month, and that is a subscription that can be cancelled at any time. You're not locked into any minimum contract length or the rest of it. We say that because if you do it on an Apple device, for some reason, but we don't know why, it's £3 more. And that doesn't go to support British club karting. Right, here we go. 10 minutes plus 1 lap. We are racing here once again in Senior X30 for the final. A couple of drivers taking to the runoff on drivers left through the Bruno Ferrari S's first time around. But apart from that, it's looking pretty good here for the start of this race. You count them through as they head down towards hairpin number 1. It is Lewis Bird who's retained the lead. Is that Jack Nettleship up to P2? The number 75 rocket ship in the hands of Nettleship. Started this race from P3. Is a good place to be starting on a day like today. And yes, it is. Look at him there in the red and yellow helmet. Bit of work being done by Joey Brown. Joey Brown was very frustrated at the end of heat number 2. But he's had a good start here to this final, up into 3rd place. Alex Wiley's had some problems through sector number 2. So, oh dear, definitely having problems there is the number 74. That is a very deranged, not factory spec rear fairing for Dom Parabox. So the VRE machine is, well, it's going to be in soon, or it's going to receive something of a mechanical flag nature in the not too distant future. Bird leads then from Nettleship. Brown in 3rd. Nat Johnston shaping up for a move for 3rd place. Down the inside, right on cue. Oh, a bit too much speed though on corner exit. He might still have the run down the inside into hairpin 2. Yes, Nat Stappen will. So Nat Johnston up into P3. His friends call him Nat Stappen because he loves the send, loves his racing. And good time as well there, because Jack Dan's looking pretty dangerous there in 5th place. And the likes of Cameron Evans. Oh, out of the race is the 3:45. That's Dorian Malek for the Jade Racing team. That kart doesn't look quite straight to me. That's going no further. Shame for Dorian, who was just outside the top 25 at the end of that last lap. So Bird in control of this one at the moment, just holding Nettleship there. It's at about half a second. Yellow flags out down towards hairpin number 1. Great work as ever from the Trent Valley Kart Club and PF International Marshall team. That's why we often say they are some of the best marshals, not just in the country, but in Europe. And only one lap of yellow there down at hairpin 1. And that situation is addressed. Warning flag for Aaron Brown in the number 6 early on here. Just a warning, nothing more than that right now. Looking into the middle part of the pack. A good start for, well, we saw problems for one of the JREs, but on the opposite front, Piotr Jurovic up 6 places in this race so far into 11th. That's some good progress. So in the second half of the field, Monty Brathwaite's up 5 with Croc promotion now. Driving in the number 32. Jamie English also up 5, and William Omar has also broken up into the top 20. Should note problems out there. We've noted Alex Wiley, but Wiley has got going again. Ryan Sayers, Jack Cockwell, unfortunately have fallen down. I think Daniel Bridgen has also had problems in the early stages of this race. They're all in negative positions gained, i.e. they've lost them in the first few minutes of this race. There's the number 62, Jack Dan. JD on the back of his suit. As I say, he's had a quiet time. We've not seen too much of Jack through the heats, but he's clearly got on with his work very nicely. He's at the moment holding off a returning Sebastian Mins to X30 action. Treat indeed. Sebastian Mins raced to pretty much as high a level as he can in single gear karting. He's raced in the last couple of years in the OK categories on the FIA stage. 5.5 minutes of this race to go then. It does look like Mins has got through past Jack Dan for 5th place. Has indeed. And Hayden Eldridge not too far behind there with number 33. Hayden Eldridge had a decent year last year. Could be another one of those names who really makes his mark for 2026 with S8 Racing, of course, winning that TB kart. Which I like the TB kart. It's probably doesn't get as much credit as it should. Very popular out in Europe. Very popular, particularly in places like Italy. And runs very well on that European scene. Decent round Spanish tracks as well. Is a TB. A lot of work being put in there by the S8 Racing team to get that chassis tuned into colder British conditions, which the Europeans sometimes not quite as used to. Obviously with something like an OTK that Lewis Bird is running at the front of this field, they're very popular in the UK. They're generally a little bit more compliant, easier to get into a fast running state. We saw that with Freddie Lloyd last year. It's why he switched teams. He wanted to be on an OTK. He wanted to be with what's familiar, that he knows works around British circuits, particularly when it's a British day like this, because we don't always get nice sunny days at our kart circuits. So I've got to say, Premium Karting have done a really good job here with Lewis Bird and this machinery. Very familiar sight at the front of the senior X30 field in the last few years, but it might not be a sight for much longer, because Jack Nettleship has gone down the inside beautifully there into hairpin 1. He's been there or thereabouts throughout the course of this race, and he's chosen 3.5 minutes to go to make his move on Lewis Bird to take the lead here at the Icebreaker Cup. That's brought Nat Johnston into play for Mick Barrett Racing. Say it's a Gillard from an LN kart at the moment, and another Gillard, but they're all very similar machinery, if not the same machinery in terms of down to the base spec of their chassis. Back in goes Lewis Bird. We are seeing more overtakes now up onto the bowl, and Lewis Bird has made it work, and Nat Johnston's got through as well. Nat Johnston through to second place. Was that maybe Jack Nettleship showing his hand a little bit too early? Because now Nettleship's gone back in and retaken second place away from Nat Johnston. This is good for Lewis Bird. He can break away. Johnston returns the favour through hairpin number 2. Good racing there between Nat Johnston and Jack Nettleship, but look at how much of a gap Lewis Bird has now been able to gather and take and pull away from those two now. And I tell you what, Sebastian Minz is alive all of a sudden, has got into 4th place ahead of teammate Joey Brown, and all of a sudden they can now smell a potential opportunity of a podium here today. Over start line once again, 2 minutes to go. Still got a few laps of this one. Probably another 4 laps to go before the checkered flag comes out. Aaron Brown has just set the fastest lap of the race, 58.11. Currently running in 8th place, just behind Hayden Eldridge. But there is that battle involving Hayden Eldridge, as Eldridge is trying to deal with Jack Dan right now. Here comes Aaron Brown down the inside. Aaron Brown does not need a bigger invitation than that to go forward move. Sweet overtake there from the number 6 seed up into 7th place. So what are these sector times looking like at the moment? Very even through the second sector between Bird and Johnston. Bird was a little bit quicker through the first sector on that tour. But has Johnston got the measure over the whole lap? Yes, he has. Johnston looking really strong in the 3rd sector. So Lewis Bird has not got this race won yet. Sebastian Minz sets the new fastest lap of the race. Sebastian Minz is out of this. The top 5 covered by 1.6 seconds now. This could be a little bit of a grandstand finish here in Senior X30 for the first major race of the year at Trent Valley Kart Club. The Icebreaker Cup victory is on the line. Minz already up 2 places in this race. Minz has had to put some hard graft in today. It is different racing at this level versus the international levels. The races flow in a different manner, and it can take a while to get back into that groove. Sebastian Minz is very much still there now. What a tight line. Minz is looking really good in the corners. The front end of that number 24 Fusion machine looks on point right now. It's going to be 2 more laps to go. There'll be a few more seconds as they cross the line. Another new fastest lap comes in from Aaron Brown. It's all stacking up here. Minz is now only 1.1 back as move goes in there. I think Ryan Gill may have been involved with Cameron Edmonds. And Hayden Eldridge around in that same part of the course as well. Yeah, that will have been Edmonds going in on Hayden Eldridge. Lewis Bird and Nat Johnston, though, have had a good first half of this lap. There's been a change for 3rd. Minz has got through past Nettleship. I think Nettleship may just be fading a little bit in the latter stages of this race. Down towards the Mike Wilson complex then. This is a crucial run through these corners for Sebastian Minz. If he's going to win this race, he's going to have one opportunity to do so, and he's got to get that opportunity first, because right now these top 2 are away and clear probably by about 0.8 of a second, 0.9 of a second, as there's a driver out of the race. I think that may be Bailey Brooker. The number 71 Tim Wilson Motorsport machine is out of the race. That's down at the at Bobby Game corner. Back with our race leaders though. Lewis Bird still has control of this race. This would be a great win for Lewis Bird. A great way to start his 2026, but he's not got it done yet. Nat Johnston is still there. He's less than 0.2 of a second behind now. I think it's going to be too much of a tall order for Sebastian Minz to win this race today. Nat Johnston, if he's going to do it, he's going to have to do it into the Mike Wilson complex. Bobby Game isn't open for business here today, both because of the conditions and the fact there's a kart being recovered down there. Has Lewis Bird done enough to hold on? I think he has. This is a great win for Lewis Bird. 2025 is in the history books. Lewis Bird is back. Starts 2026 with a win in Senior X30 at the Icebreaker Cup. Wonderful to see. Nat Johnston races home to a deserving second place. That's a great start to his season as well. Sebastian Mins races well to third place as first of the Fusions home. Joey Brown fourth, Jack Nettleship fifth, Aaron Brown, Jack Dam, Cameron Edmonds, Hayden Eldridge and Ryan Gill all across the line in the top 10. Rest of the field coming over the line then. Max Ewell home in P11, up 9 spots. Alexander De Benedictis has been solid today, P12, the number 46. Piotr Jurovic 13th, ahead of Leif Khan and Monty Brathwaite. Monty up 8 places in that race, into the top 15. Sam Lewis, Alfie Gallagher, Jamie English, Oliver Meek and Alex Wiley all in the top 20. William Omar was in 21st, just ahead of the biggest mover in that race, James Harris. Well done for Excel Motorsport, up 10 places to 22nd. Ryan Sayers, Daniel Bridgen, Ethan Higgins, Archie Cole, Jack Owen Drawbridge, Jack Crockwell, Oscar Cole and Warren Russell, the last of the 30 finishers. Non-finishers in that race, Liam Karbelov on the last lap, Bailey Brooker, Dorian Malek and Dom Parabok. Really good race there from the seniors, showing a lot of prowess at the Icebreaker Cup. Well done to Lewis Bird, genuinely, from the heart there. That is a great result to see. Said at the back end of the 2025 season that I hoped to see Lewis Bird on a grid at the start of this new season. We have today, and he has performed absolutely brilliantly. That should be as done for the X30 competition today, but we've still got 2 more races to go. Junior Rotax final is up next. Welcome back, everybody, to Paul Fletcher International. Trent Valley Kart Club's first race meeting of the year is the Icebreaker Cup, and we're very, very happy to bring it to you on this SlipStream broadcast powered by Alpha Live. My name's Andrew Mather, on commentary duties from the DDMM Virtual Comms box here today. If you've enjoyed any of the content today, do give us all a follow on the social medias. It really does help us out. And if you're watching these races 7 days or more after they happened, if you want to make sure that you don't miss a single SlipStream final, click that join button down below, and the link in the description below. $12.99 a month, rolling contract. You don't have to have it going on month after month after month if you don't want to. You're not locked in for any minimum period like that. But what you are doing when you are a member to SlipStream is you are supporting grassroots karting, club level karting in the UK. It's where Alpha Live and DDMM started many, many years ago now. But it allows grassroots club level karting to be broadcast at the same quality that we know and expect here on an Alpha Live production. So there is your reason to subscribe. And these 2 races coming up, Junior Rotax and Senior Rotax finals. Junior Rotax, this has been the hardest grid to get onto, the highest entry list, or biggest entry list, I should say, across the day. And we've got our set of drivers ready to go through it after 4 heats and the B final earlier on today. 36 drivers will be on the grid. I think we can take you through the grid for the penultimate race of the day. Here is how they line up. Perfect through the heats. Charlie Wolfett starts on pole position. Cian Bernard will join him on the front row of the grid. Zach Turner has looked pretty quick today for Coles Racing, starts on row 2. Fletcher Jameson, great return for Fletch, starts P4 for this final. Next up, row 3, Sebastian Clark and Emerson McAndrew-Wren. Emerson, one of the many drivers stepping up to Junior Rotax this year, having had some really good years in Minimax. Tom Reed is another one of those drivers. Starts on row 4 alongside Connor Large. Marcel Poppicle and Lucian Smith on row 5. Blake Southern and Erin Unlunnigan are on an all Dan Holland Racing row number 6 for this one. Benjamin Lawn and Joe Neal go from row 7. before we find Riley Morrow and Kevin Ivanov on row 8. Harry Holland and Harrison Bishop go from row 9. It's Ryan Raffini and Alex Shepherd on row 10. Theo Bradshaw knows this place very well, starts in row 11 and is alongside Jackson Lane. Devin Taylor and Harry Radcliffe go from row 12. Luca Holmes-Ballack and John Richardson start on row 13 before we find Louis Radcliffe and Aidan Clark on row 14. The top 30 is completed by Ronnie Smart and Miles Burton on row 15. And the last of the automatic qualifiers through to this main final for Junior Rotax. Sam Kohler and Samuel Aston start on row 16. And then our 4 drivers through from the B final. Jacob Underhill and Adam Turchek, Jacob Aston and Oliver Fabricius. So it's a full 36 strong grid here, with Charlie Wolfett at the front of it. He finished his 2025 national season with some really, really good results around this place. But of course changed teams. Was with MLC, he's now with Dan Holland Racing. What can he do here from pole position? Cian Bernard knows how to win a race or two around this place. It should be another good one here in Junior Rotax. Into the tram lines then. Are we away and running at the first time of asking? Yes, we are. Green light from the gantry. Oh, it's a bit of a mess in the second half of the field. Thankfully, I don't think any drivers got significant damage, but that was not the way you want to start a race, as there's more drama as they go through onto the bowl. Sam Kohler may have been involved. I think Erin Unlunigan also has been caught out there. Lucian Smith, number 44. And there's another incident, this time a third incident coming off of the Litchfield Bridge. The 143 involved there of Theo Bradshaw in the Zip Factory team entry. Well, not a good start then in the Junior Rotax final, as who else is that? That's Lucian Smith, the number 44 that we mentioned, had not come through. Well, I think Lucian may have had 2 incidents, was late through sector number at the third sector to finish the formation lap, and has then had another problem through sector number 1 on the bridge. End of the first lap then. Wolfett leads from Turner, Jameson, Bernard, McAndrew Wren, Large, Reed, Murrow, Lawn and Clark. That's your top 10. 8 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Great work once again from the safety team, from the marshals. Track fully cleared. We remain green just after a few local yellows to start that race. There's a move down the inside from Connor Large on Emerson McAndrew Wren. So through goes Large into P5. Notifications coming in from race control, plus 5-second penalty for Blake Southern in the 100. Blake lost 9 places at the start of this race, so I imagine Blake was also involved in some of the contretemps that happened in the first part of this race. It's not good for the kind of final. The driver who took a group pole position at Kart Masters last year in changeable conditions, that's not how he would have wanted his first final of 2026 to go. Wolfett, pace, 1 minute 1.2 right now. Quicker than Turner, quicker than James, and not quicker than Cian Bernard, though. So keep an eye on the kart, 4th in line here. Looking pretty pacey at this stage of the race. Then a bit of a gap back to 5th, 6th, 7th. Connor Large, Emerson McAndrew Wren and Tom Reed. The second and third of those drivers very familiar with each other, of course. Wheel to wheel over the last couple of years in Minimax. Here's a move down the inside. And through there goes the number 96. That is Fletcher Jameson on the attack, and that's going to be up to 2nd place. And we said about Lewis Bird in the previous race that it was so good to see him on the grid, racing well. No offence, Lewis, but I'm even happier to see Fletcher Jameson back on a race circuit, and this race circuit in particular, and looking really, really good at the start of this season. He's up to 2nd place now for Jax Motorsports. For those of you not aware, I'm not going to dwell too long in it. Fletcher had a very serious accident at this circuit a few months ago. and has had a lengthy period on the sidelines, has worked incredibly hard to get back to race fitness, and it is serving Jack's Motorsports very well for this race so far. Bit of traffic already for the race leaders to deal with, but still trying to chase down Charlie Wolfett, and that's going to be hard today. Charlie, as I say, looked really strong in the second half of the national campaign that I had the pleasure of covering, particularly round here for the season finale. Stepping up, of course, into the seniors. But right now, he's in the groove. Kevin Ivanov has had a 5-second penalty. 265 will move down the order. He's currently running in 15th place. Charlie Wolfett's last lap was very good, 60.28 seconds. As Bernard looks down the inside, he needed to make that move, and he's got it done. Past Zach Turner and into third place. Can Bernard now make a move on Jameson then? He's definitely setting up to make an overtake. He needs to, because Charlie Wolfett is in a really, really good groove here. Pulling away from this trio. And that's the thing for Wolfett now, making this move to Dan Holland Racing. And all the races and all the championships that they've won over the years. You're in those colours of blue, yellow and white. You are expected to do great things. And of course, won the British title last year in the hands of Jacob Ashcroft. As here goes Bernard down the inside, takes second place away from Fletcher Jameson. So this is now a key point of this kart race. Can Cian Bernard now at the front of this field show to these two of the drivers that he's the driver to lead this recovery drive? They've got 1.14 seconds of a gap to find. Make that 1.41 seconds. It will have gone out a little bit with that bit of overtaking going on. But now with the fastest driver at the front of the field on paper so far in this race, if they can work together as a three, and just a shuffling of the order sometimes can spark a group into life and start to reel in a lone driver out ahead. The trouble is right now, I think almost Cian Bernard is a bit too quick for Jameson and Turner. They're not able to stay with him right now. Cian Bernard might have to do this on a solo run here. He did set a 59.93 last time around though. That is good to see if you're supporting Cian Bernard. I'm sure there will be a lot of people doing so. Got family both here in the UK and down in South Africa. If Cian Bernard can take 2/10 out of Charlie Wolfett on a lap where he's overtaking people, imagine what he can do when he's solely intent on just hitting all of those apexes, driving laps as quickly as he can. He's just gone purple through sector number 2. Cian Bernard's still got a chance to win this race. The trouble is he going to take too much out of himself and out of the materials between now and catching Charlie Wolfett? And also, is Charlie Wolfett going to respond? Because Charlie Wolfett has just set a 59.99. So over that lap, only 8 hundredths of a second between Wolfett and Bernard. Right now, at that rate, Wolfett's still going to have something in reserve. Warning flag is out for the 100. Blake Southern having a bit of a tough race out there at the moment. Just a note in the midfield as well, there's some great drives through the field. Luca Holmes-Ballack, we saw Luca have a really bad piece of luck in one of the heats earlier on today. 16 places gained for Luca Holmes-Ballack, and his fastest driver on circuit on a 59.74. So again, don't count out Luca Holmes-Ballack to potentially have a good 2026. Still with Strawberry Racing, of course, this season, so good familiarity there. John Richardson, we mentioned him earlier. Another big drive from John, who's not to say got both dual nationality from the UK and Azerbaijan. His helmet colours are often in the flag of Azerbaijan. Well, he's up 11 places in this race, but behind him is the biggest mover in this race from the B final. Oliver Fabricius up 20 spots for MLC to P16. So that's your update of what's going on in the middle of the pack. But I hope you understand we're keeping with these battles at the front of the field. These are where the big trophies are going to be decided here today. Cian Bernard has driven away from Fletcher Jameson and Zach Turner. So it looks like these two are going to have to be content with fighting over third here today. Bernard still chipping away at Wolfett Sleep, and again, not at the kind of rate that's going to worry GCC, I should say. Gold Chain Charlie. 50 seconds remaining in this race. Here, a bit further down the order. This is the number 43 of Miles Burton on your screens. Number 31 of Aidan Clark. Fighting there over 23rd position. Apologies, no, 22nd position. Burton now up 8 spots in this race. Not long in this one to go then. Charlie Wolfett looking good here for a race victory. On pace he should do this, but again, the way the track's been driving today, in a much better state than it was at the start of the day, but one mistake can make the difference between winning a race, a good position, and not even making the end of it. We've seen quite a few last lap retirements here today. Here's a sight that we've seen many times before. Emerson McAndrew for DHR having a battle with Riley Morrow for Sam Pollitt Racing. The bit that we have to get used to now is that it's in the juniors. But they'll both be, I think, pretty pleased with their work today. Remember, they're still in that transition period from going from the mini kart up to the full-size kart. Even the best drivers, it takes time. It takes probably, I'd say, 3 to 4 months before they get in tune with it and back to the same kind of competitive level that they had in the minis. As here for third place, this is Fletcher Jameson and Zach Turner, and Zach Turner's going for a rough ride over the curbs, over the grass, loses out in that exchange. Tom Reed has got through now as well. Tom Reed having a really good race. He's another one who's just stepped up from the minis into Thule Motorsport for this year. We are on to the final lap. The leader is into sector number 3. Charlie Wolfett is going to continue his rich streak here at PF International. Charlie Wolfett wins in Junior Rotax, takes victory number 1 of his 2026 season. Cian Bernard in second. Fletcher Jameson, brilliant, over the line, third. That will mean a lot to the Jameson family, to Jack's Motorsport. They have delivered a great result here today. Tom Reed 4th, Zach Turner 5th, Connor Large in 6th, Luca Holmes-Ballack is one of your biggest movers in that race, up 18 positions to 7th. Beats out Emerson McAndrew and Sebastian Clark. Riley Morrow in the end finishes 10th. Ryan Rapini, good race there from Ryan in the number 56, 8 spots to 11th. Comes home ahead of Harry Holland, Harrison Bishop, your biggest mover in that race. Oliver Fabricius up 22 spots to 14th. Great drive there from the B final. 15th for John Richardson, 16th for Adam Chirchak. Kevin Ivanov, Louis Radcliffe, Blake Southern and Devin Taylor finish out the top 20 on the road. It's then Benjamin Lawn, Miles Burton, Aidan Clark, Jacob Aston, Jacob Underhill as well. 2 drivers there from the B final up 11 and 8 places respectively. In the top 25, Alex Shepherd, Sam Aston, Ronnie Smart and Lucian Smith complete the 29 finishers. A few retirements in that one, mostly from the start of the race. Harry Radcliffe on lap 3 or after lap 3. Marcel Popical on lap 2. Joe Neal and Theo Bradshaw on lap 1. Aaron Ludigan, Jackson Lane and Sam Kohler. I didn't even see the end of lap 1, classed as did not start. There we go then. That is Junior Rotax done. One more race to go here to go for the Icebreaker Cup at PF International for the start of the 2026 TVKC season. Senior Rotax is up next. So the last race of the day, and let's take you through the grid for this one. already seen the A final. There it is. So Freddie Lloyd starts on pole position. No, he doesn't start on pole position for this one because, as I say, he has been disqualified from the whole event. So it's not just X30 Senior that is not allowed to compete, and he's not allowed to compete in this one as well. So Ewan Charman effectively starts this race from pole position. Albie Lapper and Joshua Graham on row 2. Cian Garrity and Brandon Truman row 3. Pearson Bullock Carter and Harry Freeman on row 4. Lloyd Hare and Thijs van Wyk on row 5. Will Archer, Jamie Perilli on row 6. I like the thought of a Jamie Perilli charge through the field here. We've seen him do it several times today. He's a little bit further up the order now, starting on row 6. Another Jackson Motorsport runner is immediately behind on row 7. Jared Fox-Whiteley with Joshua Smith. Leon Hasty and Matthias Gjellerup go from row 8. Joe Yao and Lewis Gilbert on row 9. Joe Mills and Rhys Bailey go from 10. Oliver Liversidge and Drew Persner on row 11. James Kell and Miles Roby on row 12. Deshaun Bennett and Mikey Walker row 13. Noah Barham and Alex Gergis on row 14. Jugas Pavlonis and Kai Newman go from row 15. It's then Victor Hansen and Oliver Walker on the next row, row 16. Then your qualifiers from the B final: Jack West, Ben Ballou, Connor Tubby and Bailey Waters. So it will be 33 drivers in this one. The pack has been reshuffled, so Charman hops across the row onto the inside to take pole position. Albie Lapper now on the outside, starting second. Last race of the day, last race of Icebreaker Cup 2026 here at PFI is underway in Senior Rotax. Great start for Albie Lapper. There's a little bit of drama in the second half of the field as drivers struggle to make their way through the first few corners. Is that a significant looking KR Sport off the road? Was that number 8 of Joshua Graham stuck in the grass on driver's left near the pond? Either way, that is not going. It is. Joshua Graham is out of this race before it's hardly even begun. So that chance of a podium is gone for from one of the seeded drivers from 2025. That's our second bit of drama here as well. There's another spinner coming out of hairpin number 2. Is that the 221 perhaps? And Matthias Gjellerup going round. We'll try and catch up with who it was at the moment. I think actually no, it was the 121. It might have been Oliver Walker from the Zip Factory team going round. Oliver had a problem in the first sector as well. So Lapper leads at the end of the first tour. Cian Garrity alongside in a 1-2 for Strawberry Racing. Ewan Charman third, Brandon Truman fourth. Good start for Lloyd Hare as well for Dan Holland Racing, up 4 spots into P5. Lewis Gilbert also moving up through the order. Remember, you've got quite a few drivers in the middle of the pack not in the correct position. Oh, Lapper being hung out to dry there. Loses the lead to Garrity. Through comes Charman. Through comes Truman. This is the tough thing for when we talk about the junior to senior transition. A lot of the technicals is similar. Same size kart. Bit more power, but it's still the same platform of power delivery. It's all up here. It's in the mind. It's the tactics. It's the when to go for it. It's the when not to go for it. Truman has a little go there at Charman. That's not going to work. Oh, Lloyd Hare round the outside. Take a bow. And he's now got a problem. Oh, Lloyd Hare's now got a problem. And he's banging the end of the radiator there in frustration. What happened? All of his power seemed to disappear. He'd just done a brilliant move for P3. And all of a sudden he's back down to fighting outside the top 5 once again. 7.5 minutes of this race to go then. Garrity has got a march on the rest of the field here. Of course, Cian Garrity knows how to win a race around this circuit. One of the drivers on the long list of champions from Kart Masters over the years. And knows how to start a season strongly as well. I remember watching Cian at Miami Winter Cup a couple of years ago, and just starting to hit that crescendo at the right time in a final. Does seem to favour the longer races than perhaps it does versus a heat, but as long as he can keep himself in play, He can always be a factor when a trophy is on the line, as can Lewis Gilbert. Lewis Gilbert moving up the order, now 9 places gained for the Diamond of Dalry. Should be a lot further up the order for the start of this race on pace, but of course had problems in the first heat for the Scotsman. And there he is in the light blue and orange, and I think he's got a little bit of backing as well. Is that Leon Hasty immediately behind him? Yes, I think it was. So keep an eye on those two crafts crafting their way up the order. Here's your battle for third place. Brandon Truman and Albie Lapper. Lapper just had to pull out of that one. That would have been too risky going side by side through the Fullerton S's in these conditions. Lapper, who made all those breakthroughs last year, really got into a rhythm in the national championships. But this step up to seniors is going to be, I think, an even bigger challenge. It'll be bigger, more stressful races than this later on in the year. Everyone's just trying to get their season up and running here today. But this is still a good learning curve for anyone stepping up into the seniors in 2026. 5.5 minutes to go. Lapper in, spot on. Brilliant stuff there from Albie Lapper. Didn't go too hard into that. Truman's going to give a bit of a response though, and retakes third place. That's what we mean sometimes by seniors racing a little bit differently. That was a good move from Lapper into hairpin one, but by doing it, it's triggered others to join in the fun. And Pearson Bullock Carter, very experienced driver is Pearson Bullock Carter, just reads that scenario and goes, I'll take a nice free position, thank you very much. Now Albie Lapper's looking at 5th place instead of what could have just been 4th place and maybe fight for 3rd later on in this one. But that's all stuff that he'll learn as we go along. Also coming back through the field, Lewis Gilbert. Lewis Gilbert now up to P7. Lewis Gilbert is not out of a chance of a podium here today. Change for things at the front. Ewan Sharman has got through past Cian Geraghty. That happened on the last lap. And Ewan Sharman would love to deliver a victory for the Hunter Motorsport team here today. Now there was someone going slowly there in the middle of the pack. I fear it may have been Lloyd Hare having some more problems. He was running up in 6th place. Yeah, he's just been slow through the second sector. Not by a lot. I fear Lloyd might be dealing with the worst kind of problem, an intermediate problem, or an intermittent problem, I should say. Not predictable in nature and just keeps setting him back. Yeah, he's gone back to 10th place now. Less than 4 minutes to go then. Ewan Sharman and Cian Geraghty not done here. They're just pacing each other at the moment. Ewan Sharman, who's really grown up as a driver in the last 18 months. He made this switch into the Hunter Motorsport awning, and he's had that tutelage. He's had the chance to race alongside drivers such as ex-British champion Kai Hunter, and I'm just going to make a quiet prediction here. I think it could be a good 2026 Ewan Sharman. He's always been a quick driver. When he used to race on a Birrell ART, some of the things he was able to do with that caught the eye. And he's looking very settled here against a driver who's been one of the top drivers in this senior rotax category in the UK for the past couple of seasons, Cian Geraghty. And also what a day like today, when you've got to be constantly reading the scenarios, constantly reading what the track is doing. You need that adaptability. That's something I've always rated Cian Geraghty for. He's often been a driver who's switched back and forth, often on the same weekend, between a rotax, between an X30, needing to be on point, on the pace straight away. Those are all skills that very much serve into a day like today when it's the conditions, it's the track changing. So the fact that Ewan Sharman is ahead of Cian Geraghty, that is a very good sign for the season ahead indeed. Here are all the swabbles for the rest of the top 10. And there you saw on your screen 155 of Brandon Truman. Brandon Truman's really faded in this race. He's out of the battle for the top 3 now. And we said that Lewis Gilbert wasn't out of a shot of still being on the podium. Well, maybe that was selling him a bit short. He's into third place now. Pearson Bullock Carter running P4. Should note Pearson Bullock Carter under investigation, as is the number 3. So both of them there as Geraghty goes to the lead. Geraghty takes the lead then. So this could be a big move from Cian Geraghty now. As we know, he knows how to win a race around this circuit. And he's chosen just under 2 minutes to go to make his move on Ewan Charman back to the front of the order. This is going to be a very important next lap for Cian Geraghty, looking to deliver a home win for Strawberry Racing. Over the line, 1 minute 6 to go, so we'll have 3 more laps, 2 more on time and then the +1. Change for 4th place. Leon Hastie has got through past Pearson Bullock Carter, as in went Jared Fox-Whiteley there as well, I think, on Brandon Truman. It's all going on in the top 10. Mikey Walker's also back on the scene. Another of the Jacks Motorsport winners, up 14 places in this one, a little bit further back. He's running in 12th right now. We're going to stick focusing on this top 2. Cian Geraghty's driven a very solid lap here ahead of Ewan Charman. Jacks Motorsport runners there. Bullock Carter and Fox-Whiteley now both ahead of Alpi Lapper. Alpi Lapper, oh dear, is one of the Maxim Motorsport drivers, is in a spot of bother there. I think that might have been Alexander Gergis in 290. 2 to go then. Geraghty and Charman clear by 4.5 seconds over Lewis Gilbert. Race officials, I think, are going to be busy in this one. I can just tell by the number of notifications coming up on the screen, and warning flag for the 155 of Brandon Truman. This race really has not gone the way he would have wanted. It's now outside the top 10. Very, very frustrating scenario there for Brandon Truman. Again, maybe set up. It's so hard on a day like today, when the conditions have never been the same from one race to the next. Never mind when you're going out every couple of hours. It's so hard to get it right. Unfortunately, it's not gone the way of Brandon Truman on that 155 machine. Right, final lap of the day. Final lap of this Senior Rotax Icebreaker Cup final. What has Ewan Charman got? Has he got anything that he can throw at Cian Geraghty here on this final lap? Down towards hairpin number 1. Geraghty got good speed off of the bridge there. That's one of your big overtaking opportunities gone. Charman's too far back. Oh, he's gone for a bit of a set. No, that didn't work. That didn't work, and that should be Cian Geraghty's win now. Charman went all in. He did well not to career over the back of Cian Geraghty's kart there, but he's simply not close enough now to have a second go. Cian Geraghty at PF International. It just sounds right, doesn't it? He's going to come around the final couple of corners. The number 7 seed from last year's National Championships takes the win in Senior Rotax at the Icebreaker Cup for Strawberry Racing. He's been under pressure all day, but in the final, when it matters most, he's risen to the fore, taken the race victory by half a second over Ewan Charman. Lewis Gilbert fights back in their team, in their awning. It's a double top 4 for them, with Leon Hastie following his team leader home. 2 Jacks Motorsport runners in the top 6 as well. Pearson Bullock Carter and Jared Fox-Whiteley will be happy with that. Albi Lapper, good pace. There will be things learned and things improved on for Albi Lapper, like he did in his junior Rotax racing. He will take a lot from a 7th place there in his first senior race. That is a decent start for the Strawberry Racing driver who won the GP plate in that junior category here last year. Will Archer, P8 for Archer, ahead of his teammate Harry Freeman, P9. Lloyd Hare battled through problems to get into the top 10. Joshua Smith, home in 11th, ahead of Brandon Truman. Mikey Walker and Jack West. Oh, if not for missing that gate in the second heat, Jack West could have been a lot higher than 14th today, but still, credit to him. Great drive from the B final, up 19 places in that one. Rhys Bailey 15th, James Kells 16th, Thijs van Wyk 17th, ahead of Victor Hansen 18th, Oliver Liversidge and Matthias Kjeller up inside the top 20. Djugas Pravilonis and Ben Ballou both had good races, up 8 and 12 places respectively. Ballou from the B final. Miles Roby, Joe Mills, DeJean Bennett, Jamie Perilli, all in the top 25. And my screen's just stopped there, and it's not giving me the history anymore. So unfortunately, I don't think I can bring you 26 downwards, but they were there. Well done to all of them. A great day's racing here at PF International. And that is it. That is the Icebreaker Cup for 2026 done. Before we go, a few thanks. Big thanks as ever to all of the race officials. Big thanks to all of the marshals out on track. It's been a cold, chilly day at PF International. But once again, the whole race meeting has been run with a great level of professionalism. Always a pleasure to call racing round here. If you've enjoyed the commentary, at Andrew Mather Commentary, at _MM across all your various social media bits, except TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. I'm too old for that. Big thanks, of course, to our whole Alpha Live team. Big thanks to Stuart, who's been leading us all to task at PF International and the camera operatives. Great job on this first ever Slipstream powered by Alpha Live broadcast. We really do hope that you've enjoyed it. Let us know what you thought. And if you did enjoy it, share the news with your family and friends. Do recommend it out to the wider karting community. As I say, we're doing this for the grassroots, to give the grassroots and the club level karting a platform on which they can further grow their broadcasts and in turn grow their number of entries. We've seen it before that when events are broadcast, the entry lists go up, people get more involved, and that's only a good thing for karting. And of course, I've got to thank you. Thank you, the viewers. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for all of your messages. Thank you for your discussions. Whatever you're doing with the rest of your Sunday, I hope you enjoy it. And until next time, here on Slipstream, powered by Alpha Live, take care, and we'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.